There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steel toe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the tea to spill, it's always flipping. From April's script to Aaron's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma. Another win, oh, that's the karma. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars. And this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week when we cap it slow, tune in for this little piggy show. From revenge porn to felony, it's a circus, can't you see? The toe is bent, the goal is spent. His empire crumbles, all hell sent. April's playlist on repeat. Aaron's lies we can't defeat. The countdown's on, it won't take long to see this piggy squeal his song. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars. And this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. Oh, this little piggy ain't missing a thing. Just sit back, laugh, and watch the king.
Welcome to This Little Piggy, a weekly roundtable discussion about the Steel Toe Morning Show, and it's a gaslighting host, Aaron Imholte. I'm Carl from Who Are These Podcasts. With me today, of course, is Moody, the star of This Little Piggy. What's up, Moody?
Hey, I'd just like to thank everyone for hitting the goal last week. We've got a quad. No need for any donations this time.
I heard I
made guys.
$15,000. I keep hearing
Christ. Kiana wants me to give her money. I didn't make a dime last week. I didn't make any money on that show.
Hey,
what the
you
fuck?
invited her, you pay her.
Also with us from Nobody Likes Onions, of course, Patrick Melton. Patty Melton himself is here.
Hello.
And look who's here backstage from Who Are These Podcasts? My buddy Adam Busch. What's up?
I'm on goofballs and Adderall, and I have the next 7 hours blocked off, so let's fucking do this.
All right, yes, that's how the show goes now.
Yeah,
Correct.
let's
Send
get a
everyone the link.
Bisconte in here already.
All right. So I want to remind everybody that we do have a goal on this show. We haven't knocked out the goal yet. Don't listen to what Moody or Patrick is saying. You need to go to supertip.gg/WATP. That's how you participate in the show. That's how you support this show. And we do
I think you guys
appreciate
gave
that.
enough last week. You don't need to give this week.
This
You know, like
Take this fucking guy.
This week's for the fans.
I
Don't
still
worry
haven't gotten paid
about
for
it.
Hackamania. I'm not getting that money, apparently. I don't get any money for this little piggy. What am I doing? I'm just
Adam, did
volunteering
you
my
get paid
time.
today?
Yeah, you just got to download the app, Carl. It's not too hard.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I can download that. That seems like a lot of work. I don't think I'm going to do that. So, guys, we had quite the episode. People are still talking about it last week on This Little Piggy. So much to unpack from that, but really the main takeaway is that Kiki came on against five guys and destroyed all of us. I think that's the thing that we can all agree on.
I barely
what
made
happened.
it out of the hospital today.
Yeah,
Today's
well,
episode.
I'm glad that you did make it back. I was in hiding after that episode. I don't know if you guys saw that, but
Yeah.
this is actually, I might start there. We are going to get into the thing you guys were teasing for today's show and the thing that Aaron is trying to get out in front of because he seems a little bit worried about it.
It's embarrassing.
I know. It's pretty crazy. But for whatever reason, I was in hiding after that episode of This Little Piggy because I was so distraught by what happened.
You were embarrassed because you
Keanu
lost?
goes on the We Can't Stop Talking About Aaron show and completely buries it and puts Carl into hiding. Carl, I guess, had a show. There was a tweet out there that Carl wasn't showing up for one of his shows today. Carl's embarrassed and humiliated. Like, he's the one who goes, he makes a conscious choice to go on a show. Nobody should feel bad for Carl. Carl made a conscious decision to go.
Did he think he was getting some sympathy going for me right there? He's like, by the way, I know you guys are probably feeling very sympathetic for Carl leaving his own show and going into hiding, but you shouldn't. He
I mean,
did this
Carl, we
to
all saw it.
himself.
Adam
Right.
Busch had to carry the show Wednesday.
Yep.
Go on a show, take sides against friends, Keanu and Gino. I mean, loyalty with this guy doesn't exist. It's the next click.
I sent her the link. She wanted the link. I sent her the link. Anyway,
Stop coping,
I'm
Carl.
sure.
Stop coping. Even Lisa Boswell, when she heard about it, died.
Yes.
I know. After this little piggy Lisa couldn't take it anymore, and she just let her UTI get the best of her.
I love it when this guy and Chad talk about loyalty.
Well, that's another point I want to get to, but it's just so funny. You think
they were trashing each other? It's like,
did Aaron come back after this and go, guys, that was my bad. It turns out Carl was in Dallas going on Normal World with Dave Landau, and he was on Alex Stein's show, and that's why he wasn't on the show.
By his logic, he was also in hiding.
Well, right, yes.
Right? Like, I mean,
except for I was hiding on the internet on pretty big shows on Glenn Beck's network, but a little different.
Like, what is it with Dick Masterson disciples where they just don't know how to do this? Ricada, Carl, they just can't stop tripping over themselves. It's like they have the opposite problem I do. Problem I have.
You're right. I have way too many friends and fellow podcasters I collaborate with all the time. I could list the names. You'll see them in Boston. You'll see them in Detroit coming up this year. At Hackamania. I do have the opposite problem that Aaron does.
If you fix like your view of the world to yourself as you trip over, it can look like it's just everyone else tripping over when you're looking at them.
Well, yeah, he was
see.
tripping over himself as he was saying that. He was like, Carl is scared and has gone into hiding with these scheduled in advance public appearances that he's making at these times. You can't have both.
well, because in the last 3 years, he was trashing Gino, saying what a joke he is. Then he thought he could get on Compound Media, so he sucked up to Gino and got in with Gino. And then, of course, last year they had another falling out where they talked mad shit about each other. Mm-hmm. And then now they're back friends again, but he's going to tell us about loyalty and how to have relationships in this business. It's like, okay.
Anybody who spent 5 minutes watching him and Johnny Crutches understands that Aaron knows nothing about the meaning of friendship.
All right, so Aaron was on vacation during this little piggy episode that we had with Nick Ricada was on here and Keanu, and they were debating how much intelligence Keanu has, I believe was the main crux of the argument they were having. And so Aaron, he didn't have to do anything. He's just on vacation. He doesn't give a shit about what's going on. In fact, I'll prove it because he talks about it himself, how when he's on vacation mode, Aaron, not worried about the drama, not worried about the internet at all.
But like the whole thing has just been wild because, like I said, when I go on vacation, I go on vacation. I'm not on the internet. I'm not following stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't be following, as iDub says. And so I get to the Tampa airport and I open my phone. Holy shit. Another win for the toe. Did you see the Keanu thing? Nick's losing his mind. His face is all red. I got B Dabbler going, will you come in here, please? And sending me the link. And I'm like, from days ago, obviously.
Wow.
Okay, so let's figure this out. He's talking about this is Monday. He gets to the Tampa airport after his vacation's over.
Sunday afternoon, evening, yeah.
Because he didn't do a show on Monday, so I thought he flew on Monday maybe.
He played golf on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, this is him coming back. This is the return trip. He's claiming here that he's been so offline that he hasn't checked his phone in the last 3 days.
Correct. Yes, that's what he's saying. And all of a sudden, he goes on his phone right before he gets on the airplane home. And he goes, wow, all this shit happened. I had no idea about. And we're going to talk about whether that's true or not. But first, I want to break down Aaron's thoughts on a website called Kiwi Farms because he has very strong feelings about Kiwi Farms. He talks about it quite a bit. In fact, we can go back to September of 2022 and see what Aaron said about this message board website.
Toxic.
Doesn't like anything or is an angry internet person is really going to hate this next story. Because this next story has everything to do with a website that is an absolute haven and like the Pirate's Cove for unhappy internet dwellers. There's a site called Kiwi Farms.
Oh, no.
And Kiwi Farms is where people who just like to be angry and mean at people on the internet go to find outlets.
Is that a good description of Kiwi Farms, you guys think?
Yes.
It's not terrible. It's not the worst.
It's just weird for him to say it as he's being angry and pissed off about people live on the internet.
Right.
I think I've spent 2 minutes on there one time. It's
Honestly.
too much for me.
Honestly, I'll tell you this, if you don't have a thread on Kiwi Farms, you're not internet famous yet. Because, and one of those things, Kiwi Farms is one of those things where don't ever try to cater to Kiwi Farms. There's nothing douchier on the internet than someone who sees the thing that is just a bunch of people irrationally hating shit and going, I'm going to try to get on their good side.
This did not age well. As we're going to find out. This
Happier
did
time.
not age well at all. But remember, everyone has a thread on Kiwi Farms. They trash everyone. Everyone's a lolcow.
Don't be that douchey. And B, these people are to be battled with. They're not to be catered to. In fact, if you cater to them, it just makes them angrier because they go, no, we're the people who don't like anything. We're the people who hate everybody. We're the people who we call everybody a lolcow. Everybody sucks. Everybody's a dick.
You're a lolcow and you're a lolcow.
Everybody's a lolcow. There is such bad
Get it out.
lolcow inflation on Kiwi Farms that it's devalued to zero.
Right.
Oh, so Kiwi Farms has zero credibility? Is that what he was saying? Oh, that's crazy. Because I swear to God, I was watching a little bit of Steel Toe this week, and he's really changed his tune on how he feels about Kiwi Farms.
He admitted a while ago that it's the first thing he checks when he wakes up in the morning.
Right.
Kiwi Farms.
Well,
and the last thing he checks before he goes to sleep.
Right. Yeah. Especially when all the shit was going down with Nick getting arrested and everything like that.
Oh, by the way, the Aaron Hugbox show for tonight, you can tell that the L's have really been piling up and they're scraping the bottom of the barrel for content. They're like, we're going to go through Aaron's.
This is okay. I'm going to talk more about this because I got to do it with Alex Stein and he commented on it. But what does that even mean that the L's are piling up? Like, what would that look like? How would we know if that were the case or not on this show? We had more viewers on this show than have ever seen this show before last week.
Well,
I don't even
Carl,
know what the number is up to, and all the
your
Clippers
wife
had it.
left you. You can't keep a co-host.
Okay, yeah.
You're never going
Those
to
would
go
be
back
L's.
to digital marketing, even though you're trying
Yep.
to desperately.
I'd love to know what he thinks L's are, because if you're literally looking at wins and losses, and I know he's a sports guy, and I'm a sports guy too. You look at like a scoreboard. Scoreboards often tell you who's winning, who's losing. And every single metric that any of us can look at, whether it's views or money or anything else you want to look at, would all be in favor of this little piggy over Aaron's show.
Well, it's funny you brought that up. I know you just passed 30,000 subs on your channel.
We
Carl.
did,
Congrats
yes.
On that,
Thank you.
I passed 15 yesterday.
Congrats.
And this time last year, Steel Toe was ahead of me with 13.2 thousand subscribers, and I think now he has reached 13.3 thousand subscribers. So that's what's happened in a year.
It's pretty good considering he lost 3,000 along the way.
I don't know what metric you're looking at, Carl, but again, you're just stacking L's. Dude.
Yeah. Okay, we're stacking L. So this is him trying to get ahead of whatever we're going to be presenting on the show today. But he says some interesting things here.
Kiwi Farms history.
Let me back that up a little bit.
Really been piling up and they're scraping the bottom of the barrel for content. They're like, we're going to go through Aaron's Kiwi Farms history.
Thanks for Stalin19. He pulls the best clips of the stuff. I saw someone in the comments say, how is it that Aaron doesn't pay any attention to these guys and doesn't give a shit about them, and yet knows all of these different details and things that are going to happen? Like, I don't even know if I knew this was happening on today's show, and it's on my channel. What do you do all about?
This appeared for maybe 10 to 20 seconds in our Discord. Like that's
okay.
Someone guessed it due to the context clues left behind by Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
They guessed it, and I was like, I'm gonna delete that just to keep it going longer, just in case. And this is what we're left with.
Guy who's never on the internet caught it in those 20 seconds.
Right.
And what were people saying in his Discord about this?
Does he have one?
We don't know if he has one or not. Yeah, of course not, because we're not worried about it. We don't give a shit.
It's funny you mentioned that because I brought it up. He used to have a Reddit. he had a Steel Toe Morning Show Reddit.
Okay.
And the minute that Steel Toe Boring Show Reddit started taking off and got more people in it making fun of him, he erased his whole Reddit because he didn't want people accidentally finding the Steel Toe Boring Show.
Oh, so yeah, so don't even bring up Reddit, or it doesn't exist. Okay.
Right. No, that's why
makes sense.
I think the change in tone about Kiwi Farms. He's found a community that embraces. He's too dumb to understand they're not even embracing him. They're just anti-Ricada.
Just hate Nick Ricada.
Right.
That's all it is.
Bro, I've got Kiwi Farms up on my phone right now. I have a Google Chrome with 3 tabs: Kiwi Farms, Twitter, and sports scores. That is my anytime.
That's fucking cool, dude. as a fellow alpha male, man, yeah,
Bro.
sports scores, dude, for sure. That's awesome.
Badass.
Is there one website you go to find sports score?
Sportscores.com. You don't go there?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Also, how do you not have the Twitter app? Who's using the web interface
That's a good,
for
that's
Twitter
a good
on
point.
mobile?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
is Twitter one of his tabs?
I open up Google Chrome to do anything, those are the 3 tabs that pop up right away. I love the farms. I've never kept that a secret.
What?
Weird.
What just happened here? I could have sworn I just played a clip of him talking about how Kiwi Farms has zero credibility and only losers go there.
Unhappy, angry internet.
Yeah,
people. They
right.
hang out because they hate everything. And they're
People who don't
miserable.
touch grass. But now he loves it. And also, I would say he's probably one of those tabs is not Twitter. It's probably cuck porn, if
Yeah.
I had to guess.
And I know it's a Zumakian kind of thought, but all I got from that was that his phone is, if anyone were to stumble upon it or if he were to leave it anywhere, everything's open, everything's already logged in. He doesn't have any, he's just using Google Chrome. There's no protection. You could
Like
just...
he left his login at Nick's house. He just left his Chrome
exactly.
logged in there. Yeah.
One time,
This guy-
Adam, live on the stream, one time he put his code in, his 4-digit PIN number in to unlock his phone. It was plain as day. You could see it. It was 1017, which is his old radio station he used to work for, 101.7. This is 5 years ago, and he's still clinging to that frequency like it was very funny.
That's
That's
very
what
embarrassing.
winners do. They
Yeah,
let it
that's what
pass.
winners do.
Every time Adam comes on the show, he's always talking about Buffy. We're like, all right, we know you're on a TV show once. Jesus, get over it.
If you also noticed his use of language, whenever he sees something, he says, someone sent me a clip, someone sent me this.
Right.
But
Yeah.
all of a sudden, he's doing his daily check of what's up, and it's another win for the toe. He never uses that language.
I mean, you want Schadenfreude? The Farms is Schadenfreude, my friend. So I think them just kind of doing something that's very obvious to everyone, I think it kind of shows that the toe finally got him. They front loaded. That was their biggest problem. They went, we're going to do this and it's going to crush him. And we all giggled at them and went, haha. Then
I love when he talks in generalities like that. That's got to be an amazing way to broadcast and live life. Oh, those guys said they were going to do a thing, and then I was just like, I don't care about things. And they're like, what? We want you to care about things. Like,
And
what
I
did you
think
say? Nothing.
He's wrong about what's going to happen here today. He thinks we're going to go through his Kiwi Farms history. It's like, no, what we're going to show is a little more embarrassing than that.
That's a
Kiki
tease.
crushed them, and they're like, we really don't have anything else.
Why did we leave her on for 5 hours? She was
Yeah.
crushing us so hard. That was so dumb of us to do that. I was putting in the private chat, kick her off the stream. We're losing. I kept writing that over and over again. Everyone was ignoring me for some reason. A fucking retard.
It's almost like the people on Kiwi Farm say, Aaron's really too boring.
Everything's a W for this fucking guy.
And I like that. Yes, Pool Scam Sam, a show can still stink. It only draws viewers because of me. I'm the big draw. You're not going to...
So he's responding to the fact that we get way more views on this show than his does. And yet, for some reason, that's still because of how great he is.
Well, yeah, but he frames it in like they only get viewers because of me, which is
Right.
correct about this show.
Of course,
This
that's what the show is about. Yes, right.
So that in a way,
It's because his show is boring and we take the parts that are interesting and talk about them.
yeah.
The guy is on the internet 8 hours a day. It's going to be a lot of downtime.
And it's not because it's interesting in the way that he wants it to be interesting. It's interesting because he thinks that it's interesting or not interesting, and we looking at what he thinks about stuff.
What?
Yeah. It's not like we're analyzing his hot takes on Cash Patel. That's not what.
Carl, do you have any clips of his? Are you going to talk about his radio meeting and all this?
Yeah, I do have that.
Okay. When we come up to that later, this will tie back in.
Okay.
Going to hurt my feelings. Yes, you're right. I am very interesting. The guy who hosts the show, he gets 30 live viewers when it's not about me. I am fascinating. I can't help it. Thank you for the compliment. And I also watched the Alex Stein clip.
Oh, okay. I do want to get into that, but I'll pause that there for now.
Oh, because you're scared? Because you're embarrassed? And you
No, I'm actually really looking forward. Adam, I'm really looking forward to watching Aaron describe what happened when I was on Alex Stein's show a couple days ago, and then pulling up Alex Stein's show and showing what actually happened, because it's just another example of him gaslighting people. And I don't know who's falling for it. I don't know if he does have viewers that just believe everything he says, but it's insanity what he's doing. It's so obvious. It's so blatantly false.
And if you asked him tomorrow, he'd tell you Alex Stein's a good buddy of his.
Of course.
It's
still in his theme song that he's a
His
guest
theme
on
song,
Alex
yeah.
Stein's show. Yeah, it's like he shows up every single episode. All right, we have a big reveal here. We're doing it kind of early on in the show, but first, I do want to thank people who are supporting this show. This Little Piggy is a show that most of us do for free, apparently, but I'd love for it not to be me today. So thank you very much, guys, for coming into supertip.gg/WATP.
Kiki proved last week she's a bigger retard than I am. Skull.
That's
It's
just
not a
one
contest, John.
It's a Tardcast. Daddy Poopy coming in.
Guess what? I'm dead. D-E-A-D, dead.
This thing we call life, we call existence, our lungs clawing for every single breath on this mortal coil, Patrick Melton will cease to be. Death is always a certainty.
What in the HE double hockey stick is this slow adult talking about? Come little wrestler. I can tell by your blank stare that you're something special. How would you like to help clean the gym?
He is
I'm
looking
glad
for
we
work.
I'm glad we got that Lisa voice working well before she passed. Like it's a
fitting
good.
tribute.
Yeah.
God, I miss her so much. It's so sad. Anonymous $20 says, just another 700 of these to beat Melton's goal. Come on, guys. Guys, look at how easy this is. 700 of you. Do it all at once. Don't wait for someone else to do it. Anonymous coming in again.
Everyone knows I'm a closeted just do it. That's why I abuse women, slurp cum, and ask male fans for butthole pics. My real slam piece is Coach Scott. He was there for me when Nick rejected my love.
Quit lollygagging and give me that dick.
Jesus Christ.
That's fan fiction right there. Steve B, let's get Carl started early to make up for last week. Thank you, Steve B. This guy gets it. Hellraiser 69 for the goal, $10. Thank you very much, Hellraiser 69. Maybe I'll see you tonight at Jim Florentine's show. Jim Florentine on WATP in studio tomorrow. We're going to go see him do stand-up tonight. Looking forward to that. Fred Robinson, $5. Here's pity money, Carl. I'll take it. I've always taken pity sex and pity money. It all works out for me. Dame Taff, $5. How much for another Moody / Melton language argument? That was my favorite. Yeah, see, I can't let those guys just, I can't let those two guys just hang out. You should see them before the show starts. They're arguing about timelines and semantics.
They happen for free. Like you just stick around and
It's organic.
11 idle hands, $5. Carl, the cowardly podcaster. Mm-hmm. That's what we know you best for. I know. I'm always hiding.
Not just cowardly, but not standing up for your friend Kiki. How dare you?
I know. I messaged Gino and Keanu, and I asked them, I'm like, did Kevin Brennan convince you that I did something to Keanu? Because the way we left the show was fine, I thought. But then she went on Brennan's show, and KB just kept talking about how terrible I was to her. I think she started believing him at some point.
You can't hold that against her. She was being paid.
True. That's true. Mick Eld with 50-something or other says, what does Aaron and Carl have in common? They both enjoy Nick's goo, allegedly. Flashy Vic, a guy from Louisiana in contact with Gino, claims Aaron asked him for dick pic and butthole pics. Okay.
All right.
Keep us updated as news develops.
Bob Sacamano, $7 Canadian for the L stacking, is it? Thank you for helping us stack these L's, Bob. We appreciate it. And Woke David Koresh, $5. Tom Brady's response to being questioned about winning. I got to check with Gino. Glad to see you fellas survived the tarred strength of Keanu. Wow. I don't know about survived. We're here.
To this day, I don't even understand what they're fighting about. I wasn't invested in it from the minute she came on. I always thought it was retarded. I didn't really listen to it. I don't know why they're angry at each other. Like,
I felt bad when was it Jackie who came on from Pretty Antisocial?
Yeah.
And she started talking to her about some other thing, and I like totally just kind of nodded off for a while. Like I don't even know what they're yelling about over there.
Carl, you laughed every time I laughed. Come on.
Oh right, yeah. I know. You gave me the cues on when something funny happened. I forgot. Connor with $50. Thank you. That's amazing. This is for Patrick.
No.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Connor.
You can just Venmo me.
Why do you think Keanu stayed on for so long? Like, why did she do that? Why didn't she just leave when she got a good point in? Or
she killed it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks it was just
why do you
constant.
think?
I don't know.
Well, she said both because she also said that we were all piling on her, and it was like, we were horrible people.
Well, for a while, it felt like that kind of like Frozen. I don't know what to do. Like, I can just keep arguing. I can't control my hands. There's no sudden. It just seemed like she would have left if it was going good or bad after a certain point.
Or not show up in the first place because she invited
and then
herself.
not go on another show immediately afterwards to kind of keep this ride going.
It's funny that what she told Kevin was, I wouldn't let her get a word in edgewise. When Carl and I literally sat back for like an hour. I there was a point where she wouldn't let Nick answer the question he had already answered that she kept asking. She wouldn't let anyone else talk. So for her to walk away from that going like Patrick wouldn't let anyone else talk is insane because Carl and I just sat there laughing for a long time.
You guys were off screen. I was having a conversation with Carl over text and I know he was having many. Like there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
She could have just
with you and Blind Mike and producer Chris. Everyone was watching the show and laughing and sending me notes.
I had to do a skit to demonstrate to her practically why she wasn't letting people answer questions.
Right.
And then after that, she was like, yeah, but why didn't he answer the question though? Like she didn't get it. It was.
Do you think she knows what What About Him is at this point, or she learned that?
I think there's the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is if you don't have enough of a skill, you don't have the capability to know how bad you are at something. You are at that thing. Yes. So I think that's her with logic.
Shane M, $25 says sympathy for Carl. Thank you very much, Shane. We appreciate that over here on the
look.
Podcast
It sounds
Network.
mean, but like I honestly like what other explanation is there? Like
again, Moody, when she went over to MLC, she said that you kept accusing her of whataboutism, but we kept changing the argument, and it's like. We couldn't get you to grasp the argument. To this day, she's running around going like, Melton's so mad I got his Twitter canceled. It's like, that wasn't the point of that at all. We were looking for logic and consistency in your own standards with how you treat people and judge people. That never clicked for her.
She also still doesn't know if she struck you or not. She's still not sure about it. I just heard her recently, still confused.
Depends on the day.
At the end of that, she called me a condescending misogynist. I understand condescending. Like I
understand that too. That actually is a pretty appropriate word. Yes.
And then she accused Moody of being a cis male, which she later revealed that what she thinks a cis male is a straight white male. So she's retarded. She doesn't know what anything means. Also, Moody's not white, so that doesn't fit.
She called me straight and white, which
neither.
Mark Davis says, get in that cow bikini, Lady K, and let Moody stroke your unfrosted tips. Maybe there's more where this came from. Not much, just more. No more cow bikinis for me. I serve that consequence on the creep off. Tim Bollinger
My
coming
UTI
in.
wasn't from improper wiping. Helga enjoyed licking tailbone to belly button. Now picture that in your head.
Nope. Nope, I will not.
It's been like 48 hours. Come on.
I'm not going to do that.
Speaking of pity sex, can I suck some pity come out of your hard engorged cock or perhaps out of Jenny Jiggles' vajayjay?
Yes. The answer is yes. Tiff, NLO mods pooled some money together for you. Well, thanks, Tiff.
Aaron's life,
sweet of you.
Aaron's life really is like some Black Mirror episode where all of his problems would be magically solved if he would just publicly admit that he enjoys eating cum.
You're right.
Jesus Christ.
That's all he'd have to do is just fuck
out
that
a
goat in front of everybody or whatever it is.
Or Adam, how about this? And I'll give this to Aaron. Go ahead and take this. You could also say, I didn't enjoy eating cum, and that's why I haven't done it since.
Right.
There's
None of you can say that. You haven't tried it.
Right.
Well, right.
But him enjoying it is the only true way it's a win for the toe.
Or
I can't wait for him and Cardiff to team up and become buddies. That's going to be a good show.
Or he might have a humiliation kink, and this is just his way of keeping it going forever. Like he would be just nutting 24/7.
There are famous authors, artists, people that publicly are like, I like this stuff. I don't know why he can't just do that.
They pay a lot for those services.
They do, and he lies about so many other things. Just lie about it and take the win. Go home.
He does have a humiliation kink. He was wearing that Birds of Paradise shirt, which he thinks is palm trees. And he said he wore it for a while, and he said, I want to know what the chat thinks, and it better be all positive stuff. And he goes in there and he just loves reading insults, calling him gay. He's just like, another. He's like, he loves it.
I'm sure it's been said before, right? But it really does look like that boot is kicking him in the head.
No.
I never thought about that.
You know what? I
It's
never
in
thought
motion
about that.
towards his head the whole time. It looks like he's being kicked in the back of the head.
Someone's stomping on his balls.
Or they're stomping on his back. Like they're stomping on the back of his head.
You're
they're
right,
like curb stomping
yeah.
him. First kick I took was when I hit the ground.
You think he's
That's a
licked
good
it?
observation.
I think it just feels good to him, and he doesn't know why. To look at that, I think it
Right,
just feels
okay.
right to him in the way I immediately feel like it's violent.
Guys, we are getting close to the goal. We're not there yet. Don't give up on this. We're going to hit the goal today. We have over 1,300 people watching live on YouTube right now. That is 4 times as many who watch Aaron live on his show, and especially in the summertime, because that's when people are enjoying the weather and they're not watching his show as much. But for some reason, when we do this in late May, people are able to watch. I don't know how that happens, but it is. Moody, I want to give you the floor because what we just presented, let me just do a quick recap. Some people are joining us late. We just showed that Aaron says he doesn't check the internet while he's on vacation, doesn't care. He's in vacation mode. He checked up on it at the airport flying before he flew back to Minnesota. He doesn't care about it between that. He also said 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, that Kiwi Farms is a cesspool with losers and everyone there's a lolcow, which means no one's a lolcow and it's a waste of time. And then he said, I check Kiwi Farms all the time, and it's awesome.
It's the best.
It's the best. And so I think we're all caught up. Do you have anything you want to present to us?
Great. I'd like to preface this segment of the show by saying I don't think I have autism, but maybe.
Okay.
So a fan by the name of Incognito came to me and said, look, I've something's happened with my dog. I've had to stay up all night, but just like while I'm staying up, I thought I'd check in on Kiwi Farms and see what Aaron's activity is like. Because on Kiwi Farms, if you go to someone's user page, it tells you what they were last doing on that website. And he said, this guy is up at all times of the night, just constantly on Kiwi Farms. When does he
Kiwi
sleep?
Farms is a narc of a website. It narcs on all their users.
It's
If
an old
you're
forum.
logged, it's a forum. It's like if you're logged in, it says this user is browsing this forum right now, this thread right now.
And there's no way to turn that setting off? You think there's a privacy
There might be, or you can just not be
Not
logged
log in. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Which I predict happens starting now.
to a lot of people?
I assume so.
Wait,
So-
you can take a photo of a Snapchat? Wait. I gotta go.
So I wrote a script, like it's 20 lines of code, very small, that every 5 minutes checked when was the last time Aaron checked in onto Kiwi Farms.
Okay.
And I've charted this out. So what I'm going to present is a timeline over the course of, how many is that? 9 days from the 22nd until the 3rd of May of all the times that the timer updated within 5-minute intervals.
22nd to the 30th of May.
22nd to the 30th of May.
You
yes.
said 3rd.
Oh, sorry. 30th.
Just clarify. To today.
So this is perhaps the most complicated graph we've done on this show. But yeah, feel free to share that. Here we go. let's
There's
dig
a
in.
lot to break down here. But basically,
break this down.
What this has given us is basically a map of Aaron Imholte's life. Like, we can see when he sleeps. We can tell when he was on a flight. And we can tell by overlaying the shows that he's done, as well as this little Piggy, whether or not he was paying attention.
So what we're looking at on the y-axis are the dates. These are the days starting on May 22nd. And then the x-axis are the hours. We have 24 hours in a day. So we're mapping out, what is this, a week or a little over a week?
A little over a week.
Okay.
Now, one of the first things that pops out in this is
Adam is blown away by what he's
saying.
We're gonna have to.
I can't wait to find out what we're supposed to do with this information once we have it.
We'll,
Are we gonna kill him? Is that what this is about? What are we gonna do with this?
We'll walk you through this.
What is the next step?
Hold on, Adam. Did you not understand the setup to this, where we talked about how Aaron doesn't like Kiwi Farms and he goes on vacation and he doesn't check his phone or the internet?
Okay, I'm with you.
All right.
So what you see during these, so I've overlaid some of the shows that are on here that have happened throughout the day. So the top 5 rows, he was on holiday, and in the bottom 4 is a regular week for him.
Okay.
You can see blank spaces during the Steel Toe morning show and Steel Toe evening show because he is just presenting to the camera, and he's not actually on his phone checking Kiwi Farms.
Yep. We should specify the colors here. The purple, so each block is an hour along the x-axis. The purple are times he was checking Kiwi Farms, again with 5-minute resolution. So these big blocks of purple he was just on there for 30-40 minutes. The green are Steel Toe morning shows that Kiki and Gino hosted. The purple, the pink purple large block was that last week's This Little Piggy, and the beigeish blocks are the shows he did this week. His morning and evening shows. Just for clarification. That's why you don't see any of the purple Kiwi Farm check-ins during his shows.
Because he's looking at Venmo and PayPal on his phone.
So one of the staples of the Steel Toe morning show is Aaron's energy drink. And you might think, like, why is someone starting every single day with a Celsius, a drink that literally makes you shake and vibrate with energy?
Because he's getting up at like 4:45, got to go right to the gym, right? Is that why?
He doesn't sleep longer than 2.5 to 3 hours every night.
That's not good.
Whoa.
If you
you'd think if you love doing your show and you really enjoyed yourself, like he says that he does, you'd think you'd get a good night's sleep every night.
Yeah, like there's this over here. This is 3 hours of uninterrupted not checking your phone, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, on the 28th, he checked it just before 1 a.m. and then just before 3, he checked it again, and then just a bit after 4. He's not sleeping for longer than 3 hours at a time every night.
I have a dumb question. In this time, he's in 2 different time zones. Have you adjusted for that?
Right. So I haven't adjusted. This is all in Central Time. When he's over in Florida up here, the time was shifted. Shifted from. I had to choose one time zone, otherwise it was going to be.
What you will notice about the beige blocks, which are the shows he hosted, both the morning and evening shows, he's on Kiwi Farms right before those shows.
Yes,
and
every time.
after those shows.
You're right. Every time he checks it before and then he goes after. And that's why he's like that smug prick guy. When he shows up, he's just like, ha ha, I'm killing it, guys. I just read 2 messages in a row that said Nick Ricada sucks.
The equivalent of walking into your supervisor's office and going, so how did I do today? Like, he wants to read what people are saying before and after. He wants to make sure he's got the up-to-the-minute information before he goes live. And he wants to check in after his show to see what people are saying about his spin on everything.
Right. This is incredible. Look at the 29th. Look at how much time he spent on Kiwi Farms on the
All
29th.
day. All day.
Fucking
I mean, it looks
day.
like a barcode.
Right.
Oh, if you scan this whole thing onto your phone, it goes right to a Rumble rant to Steel Toe.
Do you think Slam Piece is watching this right now going, we were watching a movie at that time. What the fuck?
No.
He's not even with me when he's with me.
Are you able to zoom in, Moody, on the This Little Piggy show from last week?
Sure.
What's interesting about this block, and this is last Friday. This is during This Little Piggy, and Moody's broken it down to when the show was regular, when Ricada came on, and then when Ricada and Kiki were on. The minute Kiki and Ricada are off the show, look at how wide that purple block is. He's on Kiwi Farms before the show ends.
Yeah.
But the minute Kiki's done. And this is a guy who, remember, just a minute ago says when he's on vacation, he's on vacation. He didn't even know about all this stuff until he got to the airport Sunday.
He was surprised on Sunday with all the people telling him about it, right?
I have a theory about this. So
that Aaron's a liar? Is that your theory?
Oh,
okay.
So does he have YouTube Premium? Because if not, he doesn't have his. He doesn't have his laptop or a computer with him when he's over there, so he can't block ads. So what he's doing is he's watching on his phone.
Yes.
While you're watching, if you don't have YouTube Premium on your phone, you can't have background playing.
True.
So you need to be in the app of YouTube watching just YouTube.
So he didn't want to miss it.
He didn't want to miss it. As soon as that happened, he couldn't check Kiwi Farms during this time. As soon as the part that he was interested in was done, he logged out of the app and then went into Chrome and then started reading up about how best to handle all of
And again, that's a wide block. So he was on there for 25 minutes. If you add the two together, he took a pee break in the middle. So he was on there for 30, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
What a fun vacation.
Yeah, this is on vacation.
This is Friday night.
Yeah. This is why you go to Florida.
The show ended here like
girlfriend.
what, 6, 7. So this is 10 p.m. on a Friday night, his first day in Florida. And he's just like, wait a minute, honey, I'm watching a show about me. Like, and it is, when you zoom back out, the next couple days are more sparse for sure. Then you can see the 4 where he's back up until today.
But I want to point this out, though, because let's not just like look at that and be like, oh, good, he was staying away. If you looked at my internet activity when I was on vacation, I would think it might look like this. Not just one specific website. This is crazy.
Telling Moody before the show, remove all context. This is obsession to a level.
It's
If
addiction.
you said one website, this is one website that this guy's going on.
We all hung out in Vegas.
Insane.
Now, that was a work trip for me, but I'm present the entire time. I'm not on my phone. I'm talking to all you guys. We're going to the shows. We're watching this stuff. We're getting food. Like, this guy's just staring at his phone.
If you were able to check my screen time during Hackamania, it would be almost non-existent.
Right.
Like I just wasn't on my phone. I didn't take one. I said this after the event, but I didn't take one photo other than the photo of the fridge to tweet out on the first night. I was just too busy. There were too many people to talk to and hang out with, and literally not touching grass because we're in a very filthy casino. But this is a guy who was not enjoying his vacation, and we can see he's up in the middle of the night for 40 minutes reading.
Look at that on the 25th.
Sleeping.
On the 25th, we're looking at like 3 a.m. or 2 a.m.
So this would have been 4 a.m. Just before 4, 3, between 3 and 4.
Just so we're clear here, Moody, what you were saying earlier was that due to the nature of the website and how he's looking at it, there's not a chance that it's just on in his phone or it's just on while he's sleeping. It's just out. It's just in his pocket, or he has a shitty phone that doesn't realize he hasn't logged out.
So during his shows, we can verify that he's not checking the website because he's on the camera. So there's not a single check-in here. You'll see this one here from today. That happened when his stream had problems. So I think he picked up his phone and was checking to see if he was still connected. The last thing he checked on his phone was Kiwi Farms. Then he went live. And so to check for liveness of his internet connection, he would have refreshed
Kiwi Farms.
And so we see that in the middle of the show. Otherwise, he never checks his phone.
Because
this happened at about 2 hours, 40 minutes into Rumble Friday.
He tried to make it sound like anytime he opens up his phone, these are his tabs, and of course it's going to look like he went to the thing.
Yeah.
But that's proof it's not, because he pulls up his phone all the time when he's on his show.
And that's not how modern browsers work.
Correct.
When these tabs go into the background, they do go into a sleep state. This is a big crux of this is like a big crux of one of the witnesses in the Karen Reed trial, who the lady who Googled how long for a body to freeze at 2 a.m. the morning that the guy died. Like, she's saying, no. I was checking, literally what Aaron said. I was checking sports scores, so those tabs refreshed in the background. Well, it's very weird that you searched how long for a body to freeze within 24 hours of a freezing of what hour it was. But it happened to be the critical time of when,
Well, think about that. Could you imagine? I have like probably 1,000 tabs open on my various devices right now. If all of them were constantly refreshing and running searches and shit, what kind of waste of energy that would be? He
hasn't logged out of Twitter since he set up his account.
Right.
Yeah, it does it for two reasons. Number one, power savings, like you said, so that these aren't running processes on your computer, and also to page out memory. Like, a lot of us have, 20, 30 tabs open in a browser. Like, that would just eat up all your memory if those things were active constantly. Correct. So that just isn't how browsers work. Yeah. You have to be on there refreshing and changing pages.
Tell me, what is the addiction? What's the one thing he's checking? Is it the stuff about Nick? Is it the stuff about him? What is it?
I didn't trace.
We didn't even look at that.
I didn't look at what website, what threads he was going on.
What do you think it is? What's he addicted to here?
It's just
this is beyond.
Every time I've ever seen it, it was the Nick one. Because that one goes like many pages a day. So to stay on top of it, you need to.
That makes sense.
But also
everything. Too much.
But Adam, you got to remember when Aaron talks about the internet. Well, the internet's all saying this. The internet's all saying that. He says this all the time. This is what he's talking about. A specific one thread in Kiwi Farms is now what the entire internet thinks. Mm-hmm. He doesn't look at the comment section on his videos or Stalin 19s or anything else. Steel Toe Boring Show, subreddit. Like, the internet is vast.
So he's got no one. Like, that's who he went on vacation with. Him and that thread went on vacation together. And lay in bed together and spend all night together. Just finally, without judgment, he could just be alone with them. Wow.
It's a safe space for him. So he always talks about all these people are in their internet hug boxes. He's got one of those, which is a single thread full of people who hate Nick so much that they see him as just the fact that he exists as a victory over Nick. So,
and we heard him talk about this week on vacation that they were at a bar and they decided to leave the bar and go to the liquor store and just get some bottles to go back to the hotel room. So he's sitting in his hotel room on vacation, just drinking and refreshing.
If he was addicted to porn, it would be healthier. If it was a porn addiction, it would make more sense.
Right, because you have a refractory period with that at least. But with this, he could check it again as soon as he's done.
Right. Wow. All right. That's fantastic work, Moody. Thank you for writing that script.
We'll publish that full graph up for people who want to explore it and break
already
it
sent
down.
it to Haley, but I'm sure lots of people are going to publish it.
That is awesome. Yeah. Well, Pretty Antisocial will spend 5 hours on that. So if you want to see more information on that, check those ladies out. Manx coming in on the supertip.gg/WATP is where you go, because I'm trying to, you know what? Here's the new rule. I'm trying to beat Melton. I want to get more money than Melton got last week.
You'll never do it because you don't let him interrupt.
That's true. That is very true. I was getting so annoyed with you. Producer Chris agreed, by the way. It's very annoying.
Oh, did he? I'll remember that when I'm counting my $17,000 I made.
Nick and Aaron, you weak-sauced pretenders prancing round your selfish bonfire while your wives and little sprouts drown in a cesspool of your cowardice, living like spoiled kings while your families scrape up leftover crumbs of neglect. Real men, God-fisted titans with souls tempered in whiskey storms, put family first, ignoring the rainbows and going straight for the gold. It's high time to rip the blinders off your sugar-sprinkled dreams and face the terror of true responsibility. But I digress.
Writing is karmic is very fun.
So good.
Did his channel go away? Did he nuke it? I heard
He erased everything because he thought he couldn't get monetized because of all of his AI big boobed videos.
Oh, okay. I was worried for Rocco for a second. I'm like, that's his best impression. We need Karmic to stick around if Rocco's going to become a
He's
star.
streaming again. He's back.
Okay, good. Fool Me Thrice coming in.
There's no way Carl will make as much money as Melton did last week. I've always said that, and I am always right.
Everyone is making money off me. The only funny part is Carl isn't making near as much as Melton, and that really burns old Clubfoot Carl.
Carl, much like myself, will never make as much as Melton did last week.
Yeah.
Never. Ever. Ever. Ever.
That's true.
It was a lot of money, and Carl got none. Hashtag justice.
Glad everyone's having so much fun with this. You know who is looking for justice? That's my friend KJ coming in with $100.
70 more of those.
70 more of those, guys. All we need to get the goal. No, KJ, thank you so much. She's always here supporting, and I appreciate that. We'll see her next month. We're going to be live in Boston, June 21st, WTPlive.com. There's not a lot of tickets left, only a couple dozen left, I believe. Adam Busch will be there. Blind Mike will be there. The rest of the WTP crew. Dick Masterson. She says, this is for Jenny Jingles. Please get a bottle of wine so she has something while you and Adam are power blowing each other this weekend. Are you buying these rumors that are going around? I believe are being started by Rob Saul. Is this what you're?
What is power blowing?
He
show him the technique. Adam.
Adam,
let me show you if you don't mind. Down I go.
It's really impressive, actually.
No, it's like he's heard of these terms. I know there's a term. You're a bottom or you're a top. I've heard the term power bottom. I don't quite know what it means, but Rob's thinks that's what it's called because he's never said. He always calls it a power bottom, and he says anything having to do with our open gay relationship is a power something. So he doesn't know either.
Got it.
It's nice to see
Max.
strength in it, though.
Max coming with $3. Kiki also didn't know how to check call history. Well, that was well documented.
That was insane.
I joined Aaron's cuck lifestyle and watched 5 guys slam my wife and called it a win.
Did you buy that? Like she was pretending like she didn't know how to look up call history on her phone.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
That was weird.
Because she also says she's analog, can't read a clock. Or she's not analog. She can't read a clock, but then she also doesn't know how to look at her phone history. I don't know. 7-7, $10 for the goal. Thank you very much. The goal is very important on the show, as you guys know. It's the only reason why we do it. Whatnot Chaser.
You're all jealous of my girl's washboard chest and concave ass.
Don't say that. That's fucked up. That's my friend Keanu. See? I did the thing. Kevin, I did the thing.
I made up for last week.
Brian coming in.
Keanu is so stupid. She could drown in a bowl of soup.
Anonymous coming in. Hurry up and donate to reach the goal. Carl Piggy crew. The completely separate audience of Melton Piggy is kicking our asses. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This is a totally different audience over here on this
The night
show.
audience and the morning audience.
Right.
No, they're separate.
That's hilarious.
Carl, let me be clear. I want to squat over your naked body while I slowly lower my ass until your erect penis touches my asshole.
That is clear. Thank you. Finally cleared it up.
It's like IKEA instructions.
Connor with $10 says, Moody, devil's advocate. If Aaron opened Kiwi Farms and walked away from his computer, would it look like he's on there continuously?
No.
Is a flaw in your system. That's not.
We've been through
how
this,
it
Connor.
works.
We've been through
The forum software will time you out. Like I used to run one of these forums. This is how old forum software works. Like it shows you active if you've gone to a new page or refreshed in the past X minutes.
The activity happens on page load. So what
not even
those
the
are showing
scroll.
is
Right.
when did he last load a page.
Right.
Ricky Bev coming in.
You guys think you're so clever with your fancy data mining operation? You know what? I was on Kiwi Farms my entire vacation. So what? It's like my news. Sorry, I like to keep up on current events.
He will just log out now. So he can't be
Probably.
tracked.
But the thing is, sure, be on there the whole day. Don't pretend like you're not, though. It's like the same thing with Kiki. Be consistent. Just be like, yeah, I'm addicted. This is a big part of my life, and I want to see what people are talking about Nick because it's something I care about. He can't ever say that.
We know this guy takes very few vacations, and this is his first vacation away with his old girlfriend. And to just spend that much time and to pretend like when you're on vacation, hey, I didn't even see any of this till I got to the airport to go home. It's like, no, you spent Friday night, Saturday night, curled up, checking Kiwi Farms. Even if you were out, you weren't present. You weren't enjoying your vacation.
Imagine if like the person that stole your ex was also your ex. And like there was a thread about it. Like it's just, you can see why he can't stop. It's just not helping anything.
Oh, it's so unhealthy. That's the last place I would look on the internet if I was in the same scenario. Mick Eld, 50-something or others. Oh, yeah, this is very funny. I saw this in our thread. This is what vacation looks like.
This is Clearwater Beach.
We're at the beach. Oh, what's going on over here at Kiwi Farms?
But what about later at night, Moody? What is it?
Yeah. What happens when he gets back to the hotel room? Though he's probably
I got you with
more
that one
focused.
This is
paradise.
This is petty. Hold on.
Okay. Hey, Slam Beast,
Be
looking
right
good.
with
Hold
you,
on.
Aaron. Let me get hard first.
That is so well done. Thank you, sir, for that. Why is Carl buddying up with Nick all of a sudden? Because Adam turned him down. Which is it? Are Adam and I gay lovers, or did he break up with me? Because I can't keep up anymore.
It's a very dramatic relationship.
A geezer, $5. Carl, you need to apologize to Melton sending that link last week because a Brinks truck to back up over Patrick's newly laid sod. Jesus Christ. I made him so much goddamn money. It's
Couldn't even stop
ridiculous.
bitching about it over on Alex Stein's show. You're like, why do we make these rules? Let's change the rules this week.
The ghost of Mr. P says, how much for Jenny to do a freak off Chad's brother? Whoa. Chad's brother talk coming into the chat. I'm me. I've always been me since 5 years old. $5. Good diddler reference. Picture of a snap cat. Adam. Delia goes to my gym. I'll say hi for you.
Please do. Definitely do.
I don't like that avatar that person's using. It's very offensive to people with crooked teeth. Goes to Mr. P. Congrats on 14,999. Yep, that's me. Did someone just unsub from your channel? It's too bad. It's fun while it lasted, though. Mr. Nobody says, add these graphs to the hacking evidence FBI.
It doesn't sound like it, but it was 20 lines of code. Like it was a very, but yeah, sure. Okay, I hacked.
Grim Aaron says, Carl, what would Australian Jay Leno sound like? Hey, did you guys see this? Hey, did you guys see this? Something like that. Thank you, though, for teeing that up for me.
Real quick, do you still have? Is it still running?
Yes.
So at the end of the show, can we go back and see what he's done during the show?
Yeah. We should see if he's decided to log out.
I'll update it right now.
Okay. Jake S10 or 510 says, why are you all working with a Rabist B. Johnson? I don't know. I'm me. I've always been me since 5 years. Can't read an analog clock. Oh my God. She is retarded. Well, that was a story that she told. Yeah, that was a story she told. So next picks. Hey, Moody, how about you use that tism for the good of all humanity? He does.
I do. I just have a lot left over.
Right.
I don't know what to do with
He's
it.
got a lot of love to give.
Queefer Stutterman says, ambush segment on Tom was great. Please do right now. Oh, that's actually an interesting idea. I've not gotten a chance to talk to Adam since WATP this week, but you should check that out on this channel or on our podcast feed. It's available. Tom Myers was a guest on the show, and Adam did a fantastic job interviewing him. He's an interesting guy.
Yes, he was a lot different than I expected. And it
How
went
so?
a lot different than I expected. I don't know. I guess I'm always disappointed in people's willingness to open up, but also I found the day I spent with him negotiating all of the terms to be really enjoyable and fun. I liked that he was trying to play hardball and that it meant a lot to him. It brought a lot of anger out in me. You know, I wasn't expecting that because I was just trying to like reach him and it just seemed impossible. And it made me sad because I think there's a really interesting guy there that could be having a really great living just talking about it openly and honestly.
Yeah.
But just like Aaron, they're stuck in this wheelchair prison.
I was going to say, it's very much like Aaron, where you guys would bring up a great point. Just go, Vinny's just like, what about your word economy on some of these jokes? Like, maybe we need to tighten that up a little bit. And Tom just goes, yeah, some of my jokes are long and I have setups, but that's like my style. And it's like, he can never just be like, no, I know. I use too many words in jokes. It's just like,
he reminds me of Joe Matarese a little bit.
Yes. That's a good call.
It's in that, you could be doing this much better if you would just change your point of view a little bit and kind of open up a little bit. And he's like, no, that's not what I want. I want to be a really funny, famous comedian. And it's like, that's not going to happen.
Right. So that ship has sailed. Sorry.
But just as a person and as a man, you have to give him props for doing this, going on. He let Vinny stay when he didn't have to.
Yep.
I said it would just be
I agree.
us.
That was great.
He went and he stayed the whole time. He said what he believed. He didn't back down. He didn't run away. Really, he kept his end of the bargain, and there was no reason to for him other than he had something to prove. And I think the fact that we got emotional and he kept his cool is a win for Mr. Myers.
And we owe him money for that still, don't we?
No, we're all even now.
Oh, you settled up with him?
Yeah.
Everything costs fucking us money. Nothing makes us money around here. It's ridiculous.
Well, I was given, when I was interviewed by Chad Zumach, he's the only one who actually sent me money. I was surprised he sent me $50. So I sent that to Tom.
That's awesome.
Because I didn't want it, but it's a wonderful gesture. Everyone always appreciates something, and I don't think he's wrong to block out his time and go on live and do all that. Everyone deserves a little something.
All right.
You hear me, Carl? Do you get what I'm saying?
Enough with paying
if you
the
respond
guests.
to my emails, I wouldn't have to do this on the air like this.
Enough with the paying the guest talk. That's too much out of you. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's talk about, so he's talking about.
Before you do.
Yes.
I've got an updated graph.
Oh. Fuck me running that.
That's amazing.
Oh no.
So
they're not buying this over. They're not buying this over there, are they? Fuck.
So we're halfway through the show. About
zoom in.
Yeah, zoom in on what we're talking about here.
So we're talking about this area right here.
Okay. Yeah.
So. So about 20 minutes into the show, Hugbox began.
Yeah.
And he's been on there non-stop until about now.
He's just checking sports scores, probably. Just wants to see how the Twins are doing. Would be my guess.
How long it takes a body to freeze? Leave him alone.
I think he's just trying to figure out how to log out right now.
Yeah, that's what's happening frantically.
It's hilarious.
It really is a beautiful work of art when you think of it as that's what a lonely man looks like. That's what a man with one friend. That's the visual representation of it.
He's on there so much.
Yikes.
It becomes a life tracker. You get a window into his sleep schedule. You see all of that, which is
If this were an OnlyFans person, if this were a cam girl or something, I don't know if that would be worse or better. I can't tell.
Context from it at all. It doesn't matter what the website is. It's like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you all right? You're spending so much time doing whatever this activity is. I'm worried about you. And when you know what it is, it's an insight into his psyche. This is the guy who constantly is telling everybody he's winning all the time. It's like, you're not doing this if you think you're winning. You're not doing this if you're stable. You're not doing this if you're not worried. There has to be this anxiety around it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's if he feels bad, he goes and checks that thread because it makes him feel good about himself.
Yep. Well, that's what the whole internet is saying, whatever's on that thread.
And it's a representation, clearly, that there's nothing else in his life that brings him any kind of relief except for that.
Right. I wonder if you plotted quality time with SP or his children, if it would be that busy of a graph.
The signal to noise ratio would be.
Things are getting rough now. All right. Let's talk about Nick Ricada. Nick Ricada was getting some bad news this week, and Aaron is speculating on that. And that's going to segue into our Alex Stein stuff that I have prepared for us.
I got to run real fast, but I'm going to pop back in here really soon. I'll see you.
Oh, okay. Great. See ya. Fucking big shotting us as usual. Oh, I probably got a.
Found out he wasn't getting paid.
Big studio somewhere. I got to go talk to.
Yeah, there's. It could be a litany of things. I heard some. I heard some bad news things yesterday. And I'm not doing that thing before this ends up on the farms and YouTube and people are like, hey, slow leak. And no, I really shouldn't say anything until I know more.
I've never argued with myself before. It's a weird thing. I say this a lot, and Melton, I apologize to you before I even say this. Guys who podcast by themselves too long become retards. Because you're just talking to yourself, and it's not natural. It's not normal. You shouldn't be staring at yourself and talking for 8 hours a day.
You know, I liken it to like people who go like people who drink by themselves are kind of like have a problem.
I only drink by myself or with other people.
But there's an argument to be made, like if you're drinking while you're on stream, if you're having a drink and having a good time with your chat, look, I get it. It's not drinking with other people. There's no people at your house with you drinking, but there is a social aspect to it that does seem to make it healthier. Okay. So streaming by yourself and having a vibrant, healthy community with many points of view is not exactly streaming by yourself.
Sure.
What he's done is ban and block anyone who doesn't believe the exact things he believes. And that becomes...
No, Pat, you don't understand. All the people who are his detractors have been running scared. It's not that they're getting banned from the chat. It's that they're so afraid of the truth and all the truth bombs. They just can't be there anymore. They can't take it.
Right. I think there's a bit of a difference, though, when the show becomes about yourself. Like you can, I think you can monologue and riff on other people or other things that are happening, but his show has folded in on itself where it's just him talking about his life and his anxieties, and that's not healthy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's bad news out there for him. But I don't know specifically what his bad news was. No.
So this is a weird thing. So I guess Nick left his stream or something this week. Do you guys know about this?
Yes.
He said he got some bad news about a family member or something like that. And
the health of a relative.
Choked up and couldn't do a show yesterday morning or this morning. I forget which one it was. So anyway, this is Schadenfreude. This is Aaron going like, yes, something bad happened to Nick.
Right. And I think what Aaron's implying is that it has to do with the cop cam footage.
Yes, but there's nothing but good news for Nick for that this week.
Right.
Because there was a motion filed and it was granted earlier today for it to be not made public. It's been struck from the records of the case, so there's no need for any member of the public to ever have access to it.
Nick might be watching. I know he's a fan of the show. I still want to see that. I'd like to see it come out.
Right.
We all want to see it, right?
The crazy thing is, like this Josh Moon guy from Kiwi Farms is saying that he's going to sue the state and all of that. He's raised like $50,000 or whatever. I don't know why he's trying to go down that legal route, like the suing route, when he could go to April and offer her $50,000 to $100,000. She'll have a price, like $50,000 to $100,000 to someone living in Minnesota in the backwoods. Like that's a lot of money.
Probably even less. How much is 19 grams of coke?
Right. A lot less than that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, like Carl and guys like that, they won't. No, they're not realizing that he's not a fun guy. They're not ditching him because they hate me too much. They'll see that. Carl's like on Alex Jones. Carl lied and he's like, well, I don't do wins and losses. That's an Aaron thing. No, you guys started that, and then another win for the toe started, and I started.
We started wins and losses.
The phrase I started doing another win for the toe.
You did, yes. You created that.
Yes, but because he was framing everything as a win.
Correct. You hitting the goal every day.
That wasn't spin. That wasn't cope. That is how he thinks about everything. People have asked about last week's show a million times, and we've all said, I mean, I've explicitly said over and over, like nobody I don't even know what they were fighting about really, but like Nick looked very emotional and unhinged, and Kiki came across just functionally retarded, just devoid of logic. So to say anybody won, again, it has to do with your perspective and what your thoughts were before you came into it. People who hated Nick still hated Nick. People who think Kiki was dumb still think Kiki's dumb. Nobody won or gained any listeners or followers or fans from that.
It was one of those rare instances when I think everyone walked out of that with something. So Nick walked in there, like he walked out of there happy because he wanted to yell at Keanu. It was cathartic for him. He wasn't trying to have a debate with her. He just wanted to call her a bitch the whole time. He did that. That would have felt good.
Mission accomplished.
Keanu wanted more clout, and she ended up getting that. Her viewers, she's got 150 now.
They're already
dwindling.
gone. They're already gone.
They're dwindling. Her problem is retention. Like, she doesn't know how to keep an audience once she's got eyes on her. But apart from releasing more texts, as the last match to strike that she's got. And then we enjoyed ourselves, and Patrick got a bunch of money. Like, there's everyone walked away from that.
And
everyone knows I don't want to be on this stream for 6 hours. I was enjoying myself. I could have gone anytime. It wasn't my channel.
And just to further that he's the one who views everything in this framework of wins and losses. After that show, he said that you and I, Carl, went on a victory tour claiming it was a win. I've never, ever done that. You, again, I don't know how you ran from the internet and weren't on the internet and were doing a victory lap tour.
I also did
make shit up.
I also did a bonus show on Saturday, and one of the comments I saw, someone says, Carl didn't even talk about this little piggy. Like, yeah, because I'm doing a WTP bonus show. It has nothing to do with this little piggy.
Right.
I wasn't doing. I mentioned it one time at the end of WTP on Sunday. I just said, by the way, we did an amazing episode of This Little Piggy. You got to go check it out. But I wasn't like doing a media tour victory lap about this. I was booked to be on Blaze TV months ago.
Everyone, you're done with this. I'm done with this show last week. The only people who Keanu's still doing shows about that show last week. Yep. Chad's still doing shows about that week. MLC's still doing shows. It's because they don't have anything else to move on to.
Right.
Like I was done with it after Saturday night. We did a recap of it and then we were done. This guy will talk about this for the next month, 2 months. Like it's insane.
Let's see that impression of me again, because it really is good.
Me too much. They'll see that. Carl's like on Alex Jones. Carl lied, and
I was on Alex Jones. That's fucking cool.
It's like, I don't do wins and losses. That's an Aaron thing. No, you guys.
Shit, is that how I talk? God damn it.
Sorry, Carl.
I'm on a big network, and it's so embarrassing.
I started that, and then another win for the toe started, and I started winning by doing nothing. So Carl had to be a phony about that, even though in the next breath he goes, well, when you call a woman a stupid bitch like Nick did, you kind of lose. So it didn't take long for Carl to talk himself into a corner. And
I'm going to play this, but let me just comment on that real quick. What I was saying is, like, if you're having an argument with someone, when you have to revert to name calling, it looks like you're coming from a weak standpoint with that.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that a 6.5 hour long show was won or lost because someone was called a dumb bitch. That's not how that works. That'd be ridiculous. If there was so much talked about, there's so much said between so many different people, and Aaron's acting like I said something that makes it seem like I'm an idiot. Okay.
There is an exception to that rule where if your goal is to call someone a stupid bitch, mission accomplished. Like
that's true.
That's what you did that.
That is a good point. Yes. All right. I lost my screen for a second there. Let's get it back.
It did come at a cost though. Like now there's footage of Nick being angry and flipping out, which these people all want. And it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it was very emotional and spurgy.
If he's weighed that out in his head and been like, that's an okay price to pay to call Keanu a bitch to her face over and over again. Okay, great.
I'd rather be emotional than blackout drunk. So
yeah, but there's a cost the other direction too. Now everybody knows that Keanu is actually slow wife.
But they won't abandon him because they've backed themselves into a corner with me so bad that they're going to see it as this giant L if they cast him aside, even though it would make them look better. And I have to say, that pleases me.
Okay. So I wanted to play that part because he does bring up Alex Stein. Now, he didn't talk about a lot of the stuff that we talked about on Alex show. And I didn't know we were going to talk about this on Alex show. I didn't know what we were doing. I invited myself on his show, and he was nice enough to have me on for the entire hour and talk all stuff about Dabbleverse stuff. And, he keeps up on this. He enjoys it. So I appreciated him doing that. I don't know why this keeps disconnecting on me.
This seems like a repeat of, when Kumia mentioned him and called him a weird comet.
Yeah.
That comes through the Dabbleverse. This whole situation feels very similar.
So this is what Alex Stein and I talked about.
So I'm not saying he's abusive. In the steel toe drama, though, Aaron, who was the cuckold, and Nick was a cuckold.
Yes.
I am empathetic to Aaron only because I feel like he's the one that got robbed the most in the situation. I feel like he, in the situation of the quadruple, of the throuple, whatever you want to call it, Nick did come out on top. He got Aaron's girl and he got to keep his wife.
Yes.
So I feel like Aaron did get bamboozled the most 3 versus 1. If just trying to be objective in how I see it.
Right. And wouldn't you think that he'd play the victim card instead of like acting like he was like Nick is a cuck?
God damn it! Why does this keep disconnecting from the screen?
This is
I
like
don't know
Chad
why.
trying to play a clip.
Stop it! We're gonna make this happen. I swear.
This is why you don't get any money, Carl.
You hear that, chat? Prove Patrick wrong. Prove
I just love any money.
I love this that Alex Stein is just like, I mean, obviously Aaron's the one who got cucked and lost his wife, and he's the victim in all of this. And I think he appreciated my point. I'm like, yeah. So I play into that. Play into the guys, everyone's against me card instead of the I'm killing it over here.
Yes.
That's the part that everyone scratches their head and goes, why does Aaron think he's doing good right now? Like we can all see what happened.
I don't remember what I was watching. I was watching something today, and somebody brought this up, like that in the beginning when Aaron was, when all this was unfolding, how Aaron could have really become this sympathetic character where all this stuff happened to him. And you could even argue that it was done to him.
Right.
And but to him, not looking like a bitch, not looking like a victim, it's so important that he thinks he can have it both ways. And when you do that, both become less effective. We don't believe you as a heel. We don't believe you as a bully. We don't believe you as a victim. It all becomes muddied in the wash. So you do have to decide whether or not you got dumped or whether you left your wife or whether she left you. And every time he tells that story, he does it whichever way it needs to be for whatever point he's trying to make currently. This week, he said, when I left April. But when it happened, like she cleaned out and moved her stuff and didn't even tell me. It's like, you can't. Now, both of those stories become less effective.
Right.
When you do that. It's like.
That is
It's
true.
very odd the way he plays it.
That is true. He's always like, another win for the toe.
Yeah. He always acts like
But
he's
isn't that
winning in all this
shtick
when
now?
he lost his wife to
And
the
but
other
isn't
guy.
that shtick? Didn't he know? And Aaron's probably obviously going to watch this. I think Aaron knows that his life is imploding. I know that Aaron. And I'm.
Why the fuck is it doing this now on my screen? All right. But anyway, even though it's displaying weird, I love what Alex's point here. I'm going to back that up. Because even Alex is like, well, Aaron knows what reality is. He says one thing, but he must understand reality, obviously.
We've seen the Kiwi Farms chart. We know that Aaron's not doing well.
Isn't it hilarious? And I have another clip coming up too. That Aaron addressed me being on Alex Stein's show and talking about this, but it's amazing what he left out. He didn't talk about any of this stuff, obviously, and something else is going to come up in a minute.
He lost his wife to the
And but
other
isn't
guy.
that shtick? Didn't he know? And Aaron's probably obviously going to watch this. I think Aaron knows that his life is imploding. I know that Aaron. And I'm not saying
You got to get Aaron on this show.
I'll have Aaron on the show. But Aaron,
I would do Aaron's show if he would have me. I don't think he would, but I'd love to.
Well, you do a whole show about him. It's a little different. My criticism of Aaron is not as deep. I'm just saying I think Aaron would admit that he lost his wife at the time. So there's no way to go through a divorce and be a good thing. There's just.
So right there, and this is the thing that Aaron didn't address. He saw me on with Alex Stein. He brought it up on a couple different occasions. Never mentioned that I said I'd love to go on Aaron's show if he would have me. Would Aaron have me on?
So would
show? Well, right. I would love to go on Aaron's show, and I'm going to text him. I'll reach out to him, see if I can get that set up, because I think that really tells you everything you need to know. Like Keanu, like say what you want about her, she came on the show. She wasn't afraid to come on the show and talk to us and answer questions and ask us questions.
That's how dumb she is.
No, it's great that she did that. Everyone should be able to do that, right? All of us should be able to go on other people's shows who are our detractors and talk to them and not be afraid of what's going to come out. Unless you're gaslighting your audience and lying to them about everything.
Right.
Which is what Aaron is doing, because here's another example of what we talked about.
There's an armor of lies.
His wife.
He can't allow to be pierced by outside. Again, it's why people get blocked en masse over there. Like he won't do interviews with people that he thinks are gonna, blindside him with questions that he knows he can't answer.
Okay,
He
so
doesn't want that.
this clip right here, I'm going to prove that Aaron gaslights his audience. I've done this a number of times on this little piggy. This is just the latest example. But this, I think, really sums up how dishonest Aaron is. And this is why I'm blown away by Gino and Keanu, who saw the light and got away from this guy and are now back hanging out with him. Like, this is the kind of thing that we look at and go, why would you want to talk to a guy who lies to his audience like this?
People have seen it already. Hey, Buzamak, do you have these? Like, do you keep them? If you keep them, could you do me a favor and send what you have so far? I want to make a new intro at some point. Not now. Monograph worked really hard on her song.
So this is really funny. He's talking about his intro that calls April a Kokor. We've all heard the new edit where there's a guitar riff that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's not the right tempo. It's not the right key. It's just like
immediately after getting called out about it.
Yes,
he changes it.
He changes it, and now he's talking about changing it again.
That's not the only part that he's redacted, though, because if you listen to it,
Kayla.
there's another part where he said he's stealing your wife, and he's got that playing over the top of it.
Song. So, oh yeah, our intro song triggered the shit out of Carl. It's so mean. It's got April. Monograph made it, and Monograph is suing your buddy into oblivion. So I wanted to honor Monograph for the gift he gave us.
Guys, I was really upset about his theme song. I was crying about it.
I think I was the one who brought that up, not you.
What's that?
No one.
I think I was the one who brought that up, not you.
Oh, no, I brought it up on Alex Stein, which I'm going to show you. That's what he's talking
Got it,
about right here.
got
That's
it.
the
But also,
context of this.
No one cared. No one cares about his theme song. That was only brought up
course not.
because Keanu said that he's over it and he's
That he's
doing
changed
better and
his
he's
ways.
moved on.
He's trying to move on.
He hasn't.
But again, everyone misses the main argument, and then they focus on the subtext or the underlying thing, and it's like, no one cares that you're calling April a Kokor. What we're saying is he's not moving on and getting better. No one cares that you struck the Twitter account. What we're saying is rules for thee and not for me.
Yeah.
It's you're calling some people revenge porn committers when the guy who's actually pled guilty to revenge porn you let slide. We're just pointing out.
I know. And Kevin Brennan's
cannot follow the thread.
Kevin Brennan's the most dishonest out there because he gets on with Keanu the next day and goes, "Oh, Carl's mad that you're doing my show. Carl doesn't want you to do my show. I don't give a fuck if Keanu does MLC. It doesn't change my life in any way." The whole reason why I brought that up is because it just seems like there's selective outrage from Keanu.
No one cares she doesn't have permission from April to share it. It's just that she made that a rule.
Correct.
Saying that you need to ask for permission before you share things. So we're like, but why aren't you following that rule?
Right.
Like that's
we don't care. Read all the text you want. We don't give a shit.
Wanted to honor Monograph for the gift he gave us. I just love watching Carl cry and piss and moan, so offended, so sensitive. The
You like
guy
watching
whose
Carl
whole
piss?
show is about mocking people. He's like, intro song is mean. He's such a mean guy. Gives me a limp. That's your club foot. That's not me. Don't blame me for shit.
No, I'm with Carl. Nobody cares about Ricada's kids or April.
Right. Seriously.
but honestly,
right.
there's a million kids starving in the streets in way worse situations than Ricada's children.
Ricada's
You're
like upper middle
outraged about
class.
these
They're
children.
great.
Tony 2012. What are we doing?
All right, but okay, so you just saw how Aaron portrayed the way that I talked about his theme song, okay? This is what I talk about when I say Aaron's just a gaslighting idiot. Like, it's so obvious, easily proven. This video's up online. It has way more views than any of his videos. So people have seen it. This is what actually happened.
Be happy. So
Well, and now he calls out his ex-wife is April.
Yes.
She used to be a co-host on the show. So a public figure in every single way. He made her a public figure, and I think that's part of the problem. But anyway, now he has like a theme song that calls her a Kokor. So the show starts off every episode calling his ex-wife a Kokor.
Looks like I'm laughing. Are you guys seeing this differently than I am? It looks like both Alex and I are laughing about this.
I've seen this before.
Nervous
This is how you piss, Carl.
Oh, this is me seething?
No, this is how you piss.
yeah,
Carl
Because
is-
he's angry.
It's so stupid. All right, let's watch that again.
Starts off every episode calling his ex-wife a coke whore.
Yeah.
Because he's angry about it. He's angry he lost his wife. He's still trying to get revenge.
To be fair, though, I've heard people call their ex-wives worse things than a coke whore.
On a show in your theme song?
I mean, once again, I don't want to
Glenn Beck
defend
do
that.
that?
No,
He's
he doesn't.
doing
Glenn
this.
Beck would never do that, and I'm not defending that. I'm just saying I'm not surprised that he's laughing at the fact that his wife was getting blasted by Nick Ricada like Aaron.
What's crazy is we know for a fact that Aaron wanted Nick and April to never say another word. He wanted them to both go away.
He told them they better not.
Yeah, if I were you, I'd go. So the smartest thing for him to do would be to never mention April again and let it go, because he's going to do this. He's going to needle her to a point where one day when she does grow her wings again, this fallen angel, she's going to come out of the woodwork and be like, okay, I'm ready to talk now. Let's talk.
Mm-hmm. Just
so
like
I would
Nick
just
finally
shut
has.
the fuck up. If I was Aaron, I would take his own advice. And I would shut the fuck up about April.
He's insane. I just want to play a few more clips. I think that demonstrated that Aaron pretends that I say a thing that I don't say at all. It's actually the exact opposite. Here's some more of Alex Stein's take on Aaron Imholte that I found pretty enjoyable.
At the fact that his wife was getting blasted by Nick Ricada like Aaron is to blame in this for even participating. Aaron is guilty, but I also do think that he was a victim.
Well, we also found out. So we did a live show in Vegas, Hackamania.
Yes, it was incredible.
A few weeks ago. It was incredible. Nick Ricada came down. He shared some text messages. I think all of this is gross. I would never be into people's personal business.
Okay, that's right. I've talked about that on this show before. We don't have to rehash that stuff. But I just love the fact that he's like, oh man, his wife's getting blasted by Nick Ricada. He's obviously a victim in all of this. I didn't hear Aaron talk about that portion of it at all when he was talking about me with Alex Stein. But Aaron is the reason that everyone got in trouble, according to Alex.
Secrets.
He did. He was the first.
There was no reason to do this.
And this is one thing. It is the whole reason they got in trouble was Aaron. I know. I mean, Aaron doesn't want to admit it, but Aaron going and saying that, I thought that was weird. I did think that was out of character of Aaron when he's like, "Yeah, we were doing Molly and ecstasy out of the blue." You remember that?
Yes.
Like people accuse him of it, but then the fact that he all of a sudden his narrative changed, where he's like, "Yeah, we did do that. I did it 2 or 3 times." I was like, "Why?"
He was lying the whole time. He's like, no one better say that April's doing coke.
It was so clear. She was drunk on string. You know what I mean?
I'll ban you. And then he comes back a few weeks later. He's just like, yeah, so April's on coke, and we were all fucking. And all this. By the way, I can't wait to see the comment section. No one could be following this.
Yeah, we got really deep. This is like this little Piggy. All of a sudden, we got real deep on the lore.
The thing with that
one.
is Aaron would have looked so much cooler if he just said, "Look, there's legal issues that pertain to this to the situation.
Yep.
I'd love to talk to you about it, but I can't, and I don't think I might never be able to speak to you about it.
Yep.
Make up your own minds about what happened, but I can't mention it."
Which is, by the way, what most people would have done.
Right.
The vast majority of people would have done that.
If he would have time shifted a bit, if he would have kept quiet about this while Nick's trial was going on, and then Nick came out and started attacking Aaron, and then Aaron released all this stuff, this would all look different.
Yes, correct. And by the way, that wouldn't have happened that way because Nick wouldn't have talked about any of this.
Because they both have mutually assured destruction. They've both got dirt on each other. The agreement for most people would be, you don't mention it, I don't mention it.
That was their agreement.
And Aaron lost his wife.
Blow it up.
But Aaron lost his wife, so he just went, fuck it. I'm blowing the whole thing up.
Flipped over the Monopoly board.
Correct. This is the last clip I'm going to play of me on Alex Stein. I know this is self-indulgent. I apologize.
People joke about you saying like I work in advertising, but if you go back,
you
and watch,
do, asshole. No one else does. Just you.
when you go back and watch this, count the number of times Carl says, "Oh, I actually do a show with." You started like 5 sentences.
He's got so many shows.
I host 5 different podcasts.
Right. And you also worked in advertising.
But hold on, Moody. Moody, you have to understand where I'm coming from. I'm on this show assuming nobody knows who I am. I'm talking to an audience of people. I've been on Alex Stein's show one other time for 10 minutes. I assume no one knows who I am. That's why I set things up like this.
This is why
I
mentioned
some context.
It. This is why. This is your reaction is exactly.
Yeah, this is just an opportunity for you to plug your other shows now here.
Creepoff.com, Mondays at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
I'll be on with Jim Florentine tomorrow. Who are these podcasts? If you're on our Patreon or YouTube.
one of those true crime shows,
You're
but like
you're
it's not for
interrupting-
women, right?
You're
men, I
interrupting my
It's for
plugs
men.
right now, Moody. It's the only true crime show for men on the internet. All right, so this is getting back to the name calling thing. You know, Aaron called me out for saying there's no wins or losses, but then I did say there was. Let's just play this in context how it actually went down.
But Nick did call her the BIT, and I'm not one to. I call some people some wild names. He did call her a bitch.
There's a lot of name
He
calling.
called her a lot of bitch a lot.
A lot of name calling, which is, you lose the argument when you start calling people dumb bitches.
I thought he was losing that argument, but there's some stuff that he was right about. But this is. Then I go and watch. I had to watch a little bit of Aaron's coverage of this. This is one criticism I have of Nick, though, after watching this, that I thought Nick was like getting mad at Keanu. He's like, "Fuck you, Keanu! You went after the person that I love," as if that he's still in a relationship with April, and he's not.
He's heartbroken.
Yeah,
Obviously.
that's what, obviously he's heartbroken. But like, he's acting like he's hurt. It's like, I don't know if it's Keanu's fault. Like, it sounds like you're just heartbroken.
I don't think April likes Keanu at all because
I don't
Keanu
think
was
they're that
reading
great.
her private text messages.
I don't think that they're that close either.
on the
Because
show.
Keanu couldn't find the text message until 2 days later, right?
I mean, it's weird that she sticks up for her friend April, and I think April hates her.
It's all virtue signaling fake.
so
And I
weird.
love Keanu. I'm not even hating, but Keanu doesn't.
I love Keanu too. I'm friends with Keanu and
She
Gino.
couldn't give two shits about. I mean, she probably doesn't want April to be in a gutter dying, but she doesn't really care about her love
That's
life.
the other thing too. This is and the reason why I wanted to play this, and again, I apologize. Moody's getting very mad at me for playing clips of me on another show.
I'm not mad.
You're very upset. You're spurging out. You're seething. I can tell. But what I loved about this, the reason why I wanted to bring us to this show, is that we're all in our bubble. Everyone's in their bubbles, wherever you are. Alex Stein is a guy who pays attention to a lot of shit. Like, you could talk. Alex and I were talking. I ran into him the day before this. We hung out before this show and after. We talked about a wide variety of things from football to Sam Hyde to, I mean, you name it. Like, he's into lots of crazy shit. And he goes deep with this stuff, and his insights are very interesting to me because he sees it the way we see it. The reality. He actually sees reality. And it's weird to look at things through Kiwi Farms or look at things through Aaron's lens.
Well, because
and go,
Aaron,
this is bizarre.
Aaron has to constantly tell himself and his audience that those guys want me dead. Those guys want me. It's like, we don't give a fuck about you. It's the same as April, the same as Nick's children. Like, that's not my responsibility. We latch onto these people because they're fascinating psychology studies.
Yeah.
In
Psychologically, it's interesting. Right.
Right. So, like, it's this guy who cannot get out of his own way and keeps digging himself deeper and deeper. Is what Alex Stein said. Like, Aaron knows in his heart of hearts that his life is in a tailspin, that it's imploding. So, like, no duh. But it's so funny to watch a guy just keep self-harming by spitting this narrative of, like, I'm owning all these guys. I'm the best who does it. And it's like, we saw this week him talk about going back to the radio. And for the first,
I have that coming up, but go on.
For the first time, he kind of took his foot off the gas a little bit. Said, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Same thing with the FBI investigation this week. He said, somebody asked what the status was. And he goes, yeah, nothing might happen with that because it's spread over so many jurisdictions. They don't really. Yes. So this is him starting to set his audience up to prepare them that, you know what, this might be a nothing burger. Nothing might happen with this situation.
You think? Yeah, no shit.
He started doing that with the radio thing this week. Like, there's several more meetings to get through. The board doesn't like me.
Yeah.
Like, I love that it's both a super crime and something very unimportant.
Right. Then he acted like he had a say in whether or not the FBI continues the investigation. He said these guys have already been beaten so badly. Once they're down, once the plane has crashed this badly, like, do I really want to keep? It's like, well, isn't it out of your hands now? Isn't this? People were yelling Rico at me, and we were interfering with Nick's trial, and like,
no, that's how the intelligence agencies work. Is they just look, they like, well, Bin Laden, he's been banished to a country he doesn't want to be in. He's not living a great life. Yeah, let's just let him go. Whatever, who cares?
There's just before we continue with the next stuff, something that you and Alex were talking about was how heartbroken Nick seemed over April. And that's something that I saw quite a few people commenting on, is that Nick seemed more heartbroken about April leaving him than Aaron ever felt about that.
Yeah, no shit.
Can you present my screen? So this is from April 8th. We've seen this before on, I think, NLR. I don't know if we read it over here. Ricada fam. Just before we continue though, this group chat is Nick with Kayla and April both kissing him at the same time.
Perfect.
I just
Aaron's
noticed that.
taking the photo with his dick in his hand.
So this is on April 8th, right after Aaron gave April that letter, that I'm sorry, April letter. And basically him just comforting April, saying like, I love you. Like we let's work our way back together. Like he's very actively putting an effort in order to get somewhere with April. Someone in the Discord posted this. So if we go to 320, this is from April 9th. So that evening, the evening of that letter being sent.
Okay.
This is Patrick covering it but watch this.
Working through it'll get you recovering a little bit faster.
What if it's just his cramps? That's a good point. What if this is just his cramps? He needs some Midol. You could be onto something, Stella B.
Your body coming back to normal.
Last night, my lady laid.
I'm sorry, who?
April looks like a really...
So he's talking about Slam Piece.
Yes.
On the same day that he was talking to April and trying to get back with her with that letter in there. Like his...
Yeah, he didn't give a fuck. He had moved on.
The level of manipulation there is like...
Well, do you think he's hedging his bet? Is he going like, well, if April come back, I'll do that.
Yeah.
If not, I got this.
He wants to dump her. He doesn't want her to leave him.
Right.
Like I don't think he genuinely wants her back. He just wants to call the shots.
Yep.
Right now, I'm your friend who wants you to get better. I love you. I hold zero animosity towards you. In a few hours, my lady will be sleeping on me. By the way, that's not you.
Yep.
You're still Mummy April to me. They'd love to see, like it's...
And I want to go look at the house. Let's still go look at the house together and plan our life together. Meanwhile, I got to go. I got a chick coming over.
While the bed that we slept in together is still warm from you. Like it's insane.
Adam Busch is back, everybody. What's up, Adam?
What I missed, did Aaron win?
We're stacking L's over here, man. It's been rough. It's been brutal. And the one thing that we're not focusing on is the goal. I don't know how you guys distracted me all this time from the goal. I blame you. Let's get back to it. Supertip.gg/WATP is where you can go to support this show and participate like Ricky Bev.
Day 107. They think I am one of them now. I believe I have earned their trust as they include in me in their jokes and insults. I'm part of the troop now. Truly fascinating studying these creatures.
Oh, no. Shit.
Ignore all that you just said. Just ignore it.
Adam's going to start another podcast just making fun of podcasts that make fun of podcasts.
Fool Me Thrice coming in.
If Carl is trying to make as much as Melton did last week, this Benjamin is like a grain of sand in a 5-gallon bucket. Holy ass, HIT. It's never going to happen, cupcake.
That's all right. I'll host this show for the next 5 months on every Friday. I think that'll make up for it, right?
I think that was
Hey, Moody. Now that I've decided to browse Kiwi Farms not being logged in, you better not update your script to use my IP address instead. These old forms make that quite an easy task.
Only if you have access to
damn.
the admin.
I'm not. I can't be bothered. Why would I? This was easy.
Yeah, we made our points. Exactly.
Done. I'm
doesn't
good.
matter.
It's funnier to point something out and then have him change it, like the April Cocor in the theme song. Now he's erased that. Like that's what's funny. It's like saying this thing sucks. He goes, no, it doesn't, and then changes it.
Amy, not looking good, little fella. You're forgetting to blink again. Remember that Romanian village? You know we don't like pitchforks inside us. Blink, give up the smile. It ain't working.
Do we have your permission to use your voice on this, Adam? Is that...
See, I wasn't sure if you could hear that or if that was just in my head, so I didn't want to say anything until one of you validated it. I learned it's a good way to cope.
Too?
Yeah. Makes me feel a little better, but not really.
Dabble Babble coming in.
The first time I heard of Keanu Thompson was on the news. Something about a podcaster and shots heard outside. How I wish one of those shots had found her. Peg me, Jenny.
Oh, jeez. That's rough right there.
Violent.
Comes back in again.
How many dicks does Alex Stein suck nightly? He's the faggier Tucker Carlson. Peg him, Jenny.
It's a faggier Tucker Carlson? I had no idea. Silence Do Good coming in.
Yeah, Carl was crying about the theme song. What a bitch. Anyway, we're going to be changing the theme song.
That's exactly what just happened. Yes, correct.
What fucking pussies you are! You removed Keanu's cunty voice from Super Tip? That's a win for the OnlyFans whore. Peg him, Jenny!
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I think she's just not on my. She's never been on my Super Tip. She's not part of my roster, but I know she's on with.
Well, you guys are friends.
Correct. And I could still be your friend if I just send her some money, apparently. Yuichi says, Carl, Mike from Red Bar says he really enjoys you on TLP and wants to show his appreciation by giving you $1,000. Wow. Mike David, I will accept that from you, sir. The ghost of Mr. P. Adam, if I could, you'd be cooking at 2,000 degrees. That's mean. Brian, $5. It's $2.99 for Melton, $2 for Adam. Screw you, Carl. Fuck.
I'm going to send mine to Tom Myers.
You know what was one of my favorite eras of Stuttering John, and there's been a lot, was when he was raising money for chemo for a beloved chatter. And people would super chat him and go, here's $5, keep 2 of it, but give $3 to the charity thing. And John pretend he's paying attention to all this and doing the accounting, like, okay, yeah, got it. Jenny definitely does West Africa Girls Weekend. Goes Mr. P. I have Patrick like a rock. Keanu is hard.
Patience?
Maybe it's
Patrice.
patience. Patrice?
Patisse?
Mark Turnquist, $5 for the super sticker. Thank you very much. Goes to Mr. P again. I did coke with Chad and Melton's moms down here. Oh, cool.
It should be. We should mention it's not that when you type super chats, it really screws up your. Like it constantly jumps around and makes you mistype things. Super Tips doesn't have that problem.
That's true. Yeah, use Super Tip. It's a much better system that doesn't fuck up the words you write. Definitely not Tukey. Carl is a sellout. Hashtag Carl knew. Cash with $5. Moody needs to write a script for when Carl is on which show. Yes, so that you guys can tune in.
Why do I need that? He
So you
tells
can tune
you
in and
what
see
shows
me.
he's on every show that he's on.
Yes.
I can't do anything right with this fucking Kiwi. God damn it. Cash says, how's that Safe Sport going, Aaron? Oh, yeah, what is the update on Safe Sport?
He's free now. He's able to compete again, and he's a
He
coach.
is?
Oh wait, no.
He's
Longest
he said
48 hours ever.
He said it would be completed by the end of last week. He's still temporarily suspended. If we go back to 50%, so on the 25th of March, he said, look, they've called up the gym. They've given them good news. I'll be back very, very shortly.
Right.
It's
He said
been
that Scott
2
already
months.
got the letter that he's
That's right.
back.
He
and
just
was
hasn't gotten it
waiting
yet,
on his
but he's going to get it. Yep.
We got to update that pesky website.
And we're all idiots, and we won't apologize and admit that we were wrong. Yep,
Look,
I remember
it's
all of
just-
this.
It's such a huge win for him that the old systems at SaveSport can't handle this magnitude of a win. So they need to manually process all the wins. And that's why it's taking so long.
I think of Aaron's wins like John's beer cans. Like every time he gets up from his desk, you hear all the W's crashing into each other.
He's tripping over his wins.
All these wins.
All right, this is. I'll do one more clip of Aaron talking about my appearance with Alex Stein because he just saw a lot of it. So let's see what Aaron's take was on it.
And I also watched the Alex Stein clip. Boy, I really made Carl sensitive. Holy shit. I love how Carl has to bend himself into a pretzel to justify doing a show about me while he sits next to a guy whose 8-year-old got high on cocaine and he
Play the clip. I like that he just calls you a pedo now.
Yeah,
Patrick.
and also
as if
like,
that's like okay. You can just call someone that.
We've really extrapolated this court report about the hair follicle test into like, some narrative about he does cocaine with his kids. She was so high. It's like, we don't know any of that. This is all made up. We don't know that she ever got high. Like, this is such feelings-based bullshit.
Right. Aaron watches Kevin Brennan and goes, this guy's spitting facts. I'm going to repeat what he's saying.
But at least at the end of the day, he can sleep at night well knowing that he did the right thing.
And then wake up an hour and a half later to check Kiwi Farms.
Exactly. Yeah.
This guy never reaches rim.
I'd broken laws and embarrassed himself the entire time. Literally the new Stuttering John. And Carl's like, Aaron's theme song is mean to April. Like you give a...
I don't.
We don't.
I don't give a fuck. Why would you think I would give a fuck? I wasn't crying. I was laughing. I smile talk. It's well documented.
He was bragging this week about how little he got choked up and emotional about his wife leaving. He's like, I didn't even care that much. And look how much of a baby and pussy Nick is being, because he misses April. And it's like, yeah, that's not a flex that you don't care that your wife left you. That's insane.
It's actually much, much worse.
The guy you sit next to abused her psychologically, admitted to it, said, I got her hooked on all these drugs.
So did
Aaron's
you.
Hold on a second.
He admitted in the letter that he manipulated her and abused her psychologically and put everything before her and was a monster.
True. Did Nick say that he got her hooked on drugs? Did I miss that episode?
He conceded. He's like, so what? I did that. Whatever. Like it was one of those. But Aaron also admitted on his show that he physically abused April when he bear hugged her until she couldn't
explained it off. He's like, no, I pushed her up against the wall and like,
the kids were there.
Grabbed
Not
her
in front
head
of
and
the
was like,
kids.
don't do this.
Yeah.
But now he says that never happened. It's like, but you went through painstaking detail from your point of view about it.
It was the tour of cliches after that. He's like, it never happened. Like, just look at how we are in public with each other. Could you imagine me ever beating her? Like, it's the playbook of an abuser. Just
ask
reading
my
the
buddy.
script.
He knows me really well. He knows I would never beat a girl up. I mean,
and now when you watch those old shows back, you see all her passive aggressive comments where she was kind of being serious and roasting him on the show because he is such a manipulative dick, and he would play it off like we're doing show bits. But like looking at it through the frame that we have now, it's like, oh, like this was her way of getting little digs in at him in public. Because
he was on display just earlier when you showed that clip of Aaron and April from earlier. It really demonstrated how impossible it is to be a co-host of his. You never know who he's talking to, if it's her or if it's the audience. And the second she starts to engage him, he's off the other way. The second he looks at her, she never knows what to do except be overly supportive. And I'm sorry, it's really distracting. If he just fucking turned that boot in the other direction, it wouldn't look like he was hitting him in the head. If it just faced the other way, what an idiot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that would look like the steel toe man is walking away from the show.
He would do this thing all the time too, where he would, like, once the chat started piling on April and shitting on April, he would have to read every insult about the chat and just make her feel like a shit. Sometimes he would make her cry and she would have to leave the show. That happened on more than one occasion. And it was like, what are you doing?
He's made men cry on his show.
That was the show when he said, I chose wrong to her. And she ended up crying and had to leave the show.
Oh,
and it's still not as bad as what he did to Johnny Crutches by making him stand on air.
Logically admitted to it. Said, I got her hooked on all these drugs. Aaron's a meanie head. Carl really came off like a total bitch boy. In fact, in the clip I was watching of it, that was the total verdict. Everyone was just like, oh, God, what a bitch. They were saying, get the broom out. But
so I'm guessing this is Kiwi Farms is where he's seeing the results of because Alex Stein and I had a great conversation. It was a very fun show. Things moved very quickly. Obviously, Joey C came on. We had fun. But according to Kiwi Farms, I was coping and crying, and I came off as a bitch. Okay.
But he's not lying here when he's saying everyone says this, because this is who he interacts with all the time. Everyone
he chooses to interact with. Yeah, he doesn't read any comments on YouTube underneath the video, obviously.
And I want to, real quick, because Adam Busch brought up Johnny Crutches. You know, Johnny's been trying to get a new house. He's trying to get $3,000 on GoFundMe. Aaron refuses to support this in any,
Are you serious?
Wait. He doesn't want to pin it to the chat until he reaches his goal. Once he reaches his goal, then we'll work on Johnny's money.
Oh my God.
That kind of thing. And people have pointed out, this guy has a house with 4 bedrooms that's empty. Like, if you really wanted to help your buddy out, again, like if I had a co-host who was going through something like that, we'd do a 24-hour, money-a-thon to raise money, like whatever. If you got a real friend, goes to something I've said a million times. They're not real friends. They don't hang out in real life. This is a strictly business relationship. Johnny needs the $50 or $100 3 times a week. And Aaron has never donated to this GoFundMe. Johnny's sitting under $200 raised of the $300 he needs.
Sucks.
And somebody brought up to him this week and said, why don't you let Johnny come live with you? And he goes, I can't do that. Look, man, the government gives out housing to disabled people. I don't know why Johnny won't look into that.
Whoa.
It's like, whoa, God.
That's fucked up. Why can't he just sleep in a perfectly good hospital bed? What's his problem?
But it also lets you know that they don't talk outside the show because, like, he talks so badly about Johnny when he's not on. He talks about his girlfriend being lackluster. He's like, I don't know why he won't just file for like disabled housing. I don't know what's wrong with it.
He tried to dissuade people from the GoFundMe by saying, I don't know who's organizing this. If this is like his girlfriend Digger doing this, I don't trust that. Like, it needs to go directly to Johnny. So don't pay into it unless we can work out it's actually Johnny. And it's actually Johnny. Like, you see him on there.
Of course, Aaron hates Johnny's girlfriend. Like, of course he does.
Right.
I don't even think it's that. I think he knows that if he gets a logical ear, if he gets a logical opinion going in Johnny's ear, Johnny will go like, yeah, this guy is mistreating me. This guy is taking advantage of me. And again, it's all about money for Aaron. Aaron won't even hear of raising money for Johnny. We got the goal to knock out, guys. I got cigars to buy, and I got to take pictures with Hulk Hogan's belt. And then we'll work on a house for Johnny. It's
what
like,
you're talking about, though, is triangulation. And he did this with April and Ashley. He did this exact same thing where they started getting close. So then he had to go in there and pry them apart because it has to be him manipulating everyone.
Create tension that didn't exist. By, April says, Ashley says.
And you see, by this measure, anything positive that happens to anyone he knows is a threat to him.
Yes.
So he's the worst friend you can have.
I think it was a little bit before you joined this world, Adam, but Johnny had another girlfriend before this.
You mean like the 70s?
In California.
No, this world.
The world that you're observing.
Another woman he'd never met, but they were talking online, and she wanted him to come visit in California, and then he had talked about moving out there, like maybe I'll move to California and be a streamer and have all this stuff, and boy, Aaron got in between those and started trouble real quick.
He was getting texts from her during the show, and Aaron's like, if you're going to get texts, you need to read them out. And so he made him read out some of these texts, and they were having a fight. And it got to the point where Aaron started telling her that she was replaceable, that she doesn't really factor into Johnny's life.
He literally
Men
said
don't
something
care
like,
about her.
like she's like a stripper. There'll be another one next shift. Don't worry about it, Johnny. Like, and it's like, well, Johnny, it's a little tougher for Johnny to meet women than it is for you, Aaron.
And so the power balance there is like, this guy is on my show and he's with me and he's choosing to do this show, and I say this horrible stuff about you. Like, this is my guy. That was what was underlining it all.
I hope you guys will support me in saying, after we reach our goal and pay for expenses for this episode, put up the GoFundMe. Will you do that for Johnny, for old Johnny? Can you put it up here?
No, fuck Johnny.
Johnny never came on this show. We've invited him on this show, and he wouldn't come
Johnny
on.
sits by Aaron and calls me a pedophile. Johnny sits there and takes everything Aaron dishes out.
He gets it from his girlfriend at home. He gets it from him. He gets it from us. This guy deserves a win. I'll
care
donate.
about him, though. That's the difference.
He's saying he has no legs to stand on, Adam.
All right, so we're always complaining that Aaron's not playing the clip. He tells you what happened, even though it's the opposite of what happened. I've demonstrated that today, obviously. Well, here's an example of him actually playing the clip. And let's see what this brilliant analysis is from this radio professional.
Apart. And then Carl just looks depressed because he has to sit here.
Guys, do I look depressed? When I'm on this little Piggy, do I ever look depressed? Does that
You're
ever happen?
sagging.
Can you zoom in on Johnny while he's saying you look depressed?
Oh shit! I lost it again. This is the most.
It's gonna be like this.
It's the most ridiculous.
Yeah, whenever he's
thing
doing
that's
the gold
happening right
talk, Johnny's the funniest because Johnny literally puts his head in his hands. He turns away.
Johnny
Can't
goes into
take it.
Johnny goes into battery saving mode.
There's depressed Carl. There's happy Johnny. Makes perfect sense, Aaron. You got me with that.
And he's like, oh, God, I got to sit here and I got to pretend that this is good for these guys that I do a show with because I need the money and I need a target and I can't.
I didn't get a fucking dime. I didn't get a goddamn dime from that episode. I still haven't been paid for Hackamania. What the fuck?
Everyone else got paid today for Hackamania.
All right, I'll check. It's probably on me. It's on me. I'll check. I'm just fucking around with you, buddy. I apologize.
Can't come up with content on my.
It is weird. Like guys like Aaron will bring up money. They'll be very quick to bring up money. Oh, Carlos to sit there because he has to make some money. This was my hobby. I did this for zero money before I started making money. I do this for fun. That's why I do it. It's nothing to do with money.
People can tell, by the way.
Right.
And just to further the point, I think it was on this show that when Gino and Kiki had a falling out with Aaron, it was revealed, and Moody made a spreadsheet, and we did some calculations, that Aaron underpaid Keanu. She did more appearances than Gino, and Aaron, and they even admitted they would have to hit him up and be like, you haven't paid us. You haven't paid us.
She came on this show and told us about it. Yes.
But when we factored it all out, because Gino's a man and he hates women, and we know this, he paid Kiki $200 or $300 less, and she did more appearances than Gino. He doesn't like Aaron. You're the one who's obsessed. You and Kevin Brennan are obsessed over money and numbers. Like
these guys that I do a show with because I need the money and I need a target and I can't come up with content on my own.
That's a funny thing too. I can't come up with content on my own. I host 5 different podcasts, but okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never talk about it, but I'm on the Creep Off. I do Point Dabble Point. Who are these podcasts? Who are these socials?
Carl, you're bored.
Like
You need the money. You need the money.
But I also claim to be Keanu's friend, so I got to walk some weaselly little tightrope. I mean, he may have Bucky Beaver teeth, but he's 100% weasel.
Whoa! Ouch. Shots fired.
Ouch.
The way I interpreted it is you wanted to help Keanu out, but she could not be helped in that. Like, she was like just coming across indefensible.
She wanted the link. I sent her the link. I thought that's what she wanted. Do you want to talk about, okay, I have 2 different clips we can play here. I have the radio meeting update, or I have proof that Melton admits that he's a pedo. Which one do you guys want to watch?
Ixnay on the
yeah. I really want to hear about the first one.
Okay, let's talk about his meeting that he had last week.
For shit. Chad Buzamok says, hey, did Aaron ever say how his radio meeting went a week or days ago? Last Tuesday was the meeting. And yeah, we talked about it on the show quite a bit. The next step is convincing. So the people I met with, the management I met with, they're like, we're good. We've got this. We've got to go before the board. We've got some people on the board who, can you believe this? People on the board think that maybe I'm a bit of a risk, and they think I might be too much of a shock job. And they're the last people we've got to win over. So
okay, I hope nobody can find out who's on the board of Leighton Media and fill them up with information.
Oh, no,
If you search,
Let's not stop him from getting a job back on radio. We're rooting for him. We want him to get this job.
Let's hope none of them search Steel Toe Minstrel Show on YouTube.
We want him to get this job, guys. Let's not forget that. We're rooting for Aaron on this one. It'd be great.
Also, real quick, this meeting was last Tuesday, and he says we talked about it a lot on the show. No, he didn't. Like,
I don't watch every show, so I don't know.
He has mentioned this radio meeting a million times leading up to it, and then after the meeting, it's, pun intended, radio silence. Like, all he was doing last week was talking about the vacation and going on vacation and stuff.
He said he brought it up on Wednesday morning's show last week. I don't know if that's true or not.
It's possible in passing, but he said we talked about it a lot.
Yeah,
this would have been a clip. Somebody would have clipped this.
True, yes.
We've been watching him talk a lot of shit. This is the only stuff that's up here. This whole meeting is up here. He keeps looking up and staying there. Everything else is at us. He has no idea what he's talking about. And I really
Yeah, sorry,
No,
go ahead, Adam.
I just gonna say I don't think the problem is that he's just too. They want him, but he's just too dangerous, and they're arguing about how bad he is and trying to come to terms.
And that's what this whole clip right here is about. It's kind of like, let's move on from that. Don't worry about that. That's going on in the background. He's preparing us for like it didn't work out.
Remember, Leighton Broadcasting described themselves as a family company, and it's full of women. like it's. I don't know how they could justify hiring him.
There's no way he'd be doing this show if that were true. If that's who he was watching.
To Melton's point, that's what he's explaining here is that he's not going to get this job because he's so much of a bad boy and so much of a shock job.
The thing is, what does being a bad boy mean to these stations? And it is when he gets given a show, there's a bunch of advertisers that are the last lifeline that these radio stations have. It's a dying industry. And so people will call up those advertisers and say, one of the places that you choose to advertise hosts this man. Here's his revenge porn, and here's him talking about all this stuff. And then those advertisers start to put pressure on the radio station that they would pull advertising if they don't get rid of him. Like it's
he uses it being a dying media and a dying industry here in this clip to basically say like that's why they want me so bad. They need steel toes numbers on box office. And again, it's just like what Carl was saying earlier in the show. It's like, where are these numbers? Where are these fans? He struggles every day to hit the goal now. It's daily.
Oh God, there's a great clip I have. We won't get to it today, but Wednesday's show, he was having a meltdown when he was $190 off the goal. Yes,
much of a shock jock, and they're the last people we've got to win over. So it went very, very well. Without divulging too much information, it went very well. Things are still back on track the way they were before all the madness went down, and I'm feeling very good.
See, that's bullshit right there. Things are back on track the way that they were before the madness. So this would
be not on track.
Correct. It's over a year ago. That's not how jobs work. That's not how getting hired to work for a company works. Like, yeah, I'll be able to do the job for you. I just gotta give me like 18 months. Like they'll find someone else to do that job.
He's been saying he's about to get this job at Leighton Media since 2022.
Right.
So they weren't on track before this.
Correct.
You weren't getting a job. You were hanging in the wind before that. So back on track means nothing. Like you were off the track.
Right. And he expects us to believe that this family entertainment production company is just waiting for his sexual and porn charges to die down so they can award him this huge contract.
And it's what we always say. What will the show be? He doesn't have a demo. He doesn't have an air check. There's no tape he can bring to them and go like, this is what steel toe is.
Yes,
because what is it?
What's shocking is that Steel Toe, BYB, a lot of these shows, they're entirely talking about sexual abuse because they're accusing other people. That's Vince the lawyer. It's all. I would think you do a show about like child predators because that's the main topic of your show. What the fuck is Kumi's Cucks about? Why would someone want to appear on that show? All of these shows.
Oh, he's changing the name, Adam. He's changing the name. He said it's going to be the same show, but he's changing the name.
Oh, good. Well, that's a step in the right direction.
The other giveaway is he's talking about this radio show the same way he's talking about Safe Sport. It's in the bag, guys. Good news is coming. And that we've seen him say a week or two away for the last 4 months.
He's like a fucking airline telling us in 20 minutes we're going to take off. I swear. 20 more minutes. We're just filling out some paperwork. 20 more. I was on the tarmac for 2 hours.
Some guys in the tower. There's some guys in the tower that think the plane's not airworthy. We're working on it. But it's the same with the FBI thing, which again this week he finally admitted like maybe nothing's going to come of this. It's like because you got. I'm not the most intelligent guy in the world, but if you think I hacked your Google account, you're fucking retarded. That didn't happen. They're not coming.
About the way things are going. So, yes, I don't want to gloat about it because then, Pool Scam Sam's going to feel bad.
He had a meeting and they go, we got to convince the board to get you. If any of that happened, he's like, and I don't want to gloat about that. Well, why would you? It's not something
My
to
act
gloat about.
is the exact thing they don't want.
Right.
I've been in meetings where at the end it's like, we've got to convince the board about this.
Yep.
Not a good hit rate after that.
No, it's not a good way.
Look, they love the Steel Toe show. They're just not on board with Aaron Imholte. It's just going to take them to convince them.
You know what?
Shit.
You know what boards? You know what boards love? Bottom-up initiatives.
Right? Yeah. They're always like, "Come in and convince us. We don't agree with you. That's why we're wrong."
Good right now. So, no, it went really well. I'm really excited. I'm anticipating probably at least another 2-3 meetings before the whole thing's done. But yeah, we talked about it.
Why? If the meeting went well with the guy and they just have to convince the board,
it's on track.
I'm anticipating 2 or 3 more meetings.
His introduction interview, his technical interview, his second introduction, his team meeting, and then the exit interview. And once he's done that.
On last Wednesday, I think last Wednesday morning, so go check that out.
Yeah, and then he does that thing where he's like, "I already talked about this, so go watch it over there." I've already.
He couldn't talk about it enough before the meeting. He's like, "You guys are gonna hate it, man. I got a meeting, and I'm coming back to radio. The minute this case is all tied up and the felony's gone, I'm back, baby."
Hilarious.
From the courthouse to the studio. That's what he'll be doing.
Now, we get together once a week on this little Piggy. Sometimes it's on this channel. Sometimes it's on Nobody Likes Onions. We'll never let Tukey have it again. He's betrayed us because he has a real job like an asshole. But the thing that we do is we come together to talk about Aaron, but really the main point is the goal. And so we're just killing time as we wait for people to contribute to the goal, supertip.gg/WATP. And I want to thank you fine folks for coming in like anonymous here with $5 who says, "Carl, will you give Citizen M the mouse that Melton refuses to? He's really upset about this. Citizen M is a good fan and deserves it. I will give him a wired mouse with the old style USB."
Yeah, I found one for $2.99 on Amazon.
There you go. Perfect. KFT coming in.
"You fags, listen up. I suck dick when I want and who I want. Moody, show me your dark dick. Carl knew."
Do we not have a filter on this thing anymore? Is you can just say anything you want on Super Tipped?
No, there is a filter, but it seems
like hate speech and violence, I think, are the only two things.
Cool.
So sucking dick is love.
Seize the Day coming in. Because Melton guilted me into supporting this episode. Thank you, Seize the Day, and thank you, Melton.
I get $2 of that.
Patty, you and your dark friend from New Zealand can kiss my Irish ass. I will be at a potato bar in Vegas soon. Carl knew.
Oh, I didn't do the hashtag on that one. Anonymous coming in.
Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you have a good 2032. Safe Sport is going to reinstate me by the end of the month, and it'll be another win for the toe. God, I love winning.
That is the Safe Sport stuff is hilarious.
Also, like, what are we to believe? Like, when this comes back, he'll be back to competing in the ring. It's
right.
Like you're fucking 40, and you were never good anyway.
Right.
That body can footage is absolutely, definitely, certainly 100% coming out. Maybe. I hope. Thank you for not killing yourselves.
Thank you, Koof, for not killing yourself and for coming to Hackamania every year. Always good to see you there, buddy. Koof was with us on the trip to White Castle on the first night.
Carl, don't be like me. Tell your Adam you love him before he leaves. Chad gives a sweet handy, but it's not the same.
You never told me you loved me, Kev and Breen Nan. My heart is crushed like an ancient Akkadian vase, trampled beneath 1,000 sandals, soaked in the sweat of perpetual doom. Kevin Breen Nan.
Thank you, Principled Uncertainty, for that. A quick question for you guys about the White Castle. I know you made the trip the next night, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Why in the fuck is there a fast food restaurant that takes an hour to make your burger?
It was a self-serve, iPad, and there were only 2 of them, and everyone's drunk.
But the burgers take like 30 seconds to cook. They're the thinnest burgers.
They should, yes.
And they're terrible no matter
on one
what.
Side.
The best part of the whole evening was when Rocco was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not eating that shit." I couldn't believe
you're not kidding yourselves.
That's the only thing that he was promoting leading up to Hackamanias. These White Castle runs every night, and it's terrible. It was garbage. It took forever.
Rocco lives off of gas station food. Like for him for White Castle to be beneath him.
White Castle runs with $10.
Anonymous coming in. Hey, Pat, it's me, Vito. I lost my check. Can you please send a new one? Thank you.
That happened last year in September. He hit me up and he's like, I lost my check from Hackamania. Can you send another one? It's like, that was in May.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. Also, this needs to be 10 messages and have paragraphs for it.
I know.
And then in perfect Vito form, like 2 days later, he's like, I found it. It's like, yeah, you're such a knee-jerky guy. Look for it before you message me for a new check. Like, look around.
I did a bonus show with Dick last night. Patreon.com/who are these podcasts. I do shows with Dick Masterson also, Moody. Have I mentioned that? Anyway.
No, when? Can you plug him?
And God damn, Vito's driving him crazy. It's very funny to talk about. Right, Aaron, the board is going to weigh in on a minor personnel change. Get fucked, you weirdo. That's a good point. This is a very big media company. It's not a local Minnesota company. They're all across the U.S. It's not going to get brought up at the board meeting.
Come goes straight to my hips.
All right, Principal Uncertainty, thank you very much for that.
I'm a content creating machine doing 5 different podcasts. I do WATP, where I steal content from other podcaster. I do the Creep Off, where I steal content from True Crime Documentary. I do WATS, where I steal content from social media creators. Point Dabble Point is me stealing content from Dabbleverse creators and Stuttering John. Last there is TLP stealing steel toe content.
You know what? I'm actually a fraud. I just realized. God damn it. So happy with myself before we started this episode.
Suck dick and eat pussy. Cunt. Wow, I can say anything. Knicker knicker chicken dinner.
All right, KFT's having a little bit too much fun with us. I shouldn't have pointed that out, I guess. Because I should not have pointed that out. Oh, look at this. We have some super chats going on. White Cash, how is that safe sport going, Aaron? I think we looked at that one. But look at Mike Cutts with $50. Thank you very much, Mike Cutts. He says, poor people, show thanks. Thank you, Carl and crew. Go Bills. I like the cut of this guy's jib. He's making a lot of good points there. And he came in with another $20 after that. Sorry, I'm drunk waiting for the Yankees game. FKB, what are you apologizing for?
Yeah, in fairness to Carl, late May is a point of the season where the Bills have a chance.
Oh, shut up.
Alcohol is bad. You shouldn't drink alcohol.
How dare you? Naturally negative $5 says, it's okay, Carl. The goal set by the prior little Piggy was always going to be unreachable. I know. Plus, I got to go see Jim Florentine tonight. I can't be on for 6 hours. Locks and Docs. Aaron's podcast is horrible. How do people listen? Any theories on that?
Through this show.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You're muted,
Adam. You're muted.
I was so glad to find out who the we finally was that he's been referring to this whole time. We feel. It's the fucking thread people.
Oh.
That's the we.
It's Kiwi Farms. Yes, because he used to have
companions.
co-hosts. He used to have a we, and he still
got a
talks
family
like
and
that.
a life and integrity.
They are with him all day. Like he would feel camaraderie and a parasocial attachment to them.
That's hilarious. Manigan, a Quinn Martin production, $5 says 2 or 3 more meetings to Aaron means he can stretch this out for 3 to 5 more months without having to answer any more questions.
Exactly.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Because honestly, I've been in the running for positions and things, and it's not about how many meetings, it's about how much time it's going to be. Like you talk to the people about like, all right, when do you want to fill this position? When are you going to be ready to come in this position? Like that's all the conversation. It's not how many meetings.
It's very costly to onboard a new radio personality and change out a day part and spin up the marketing and the promotion and it's a big investment.
Yeah. Back on supertip.gg/WATP.
By the way, Lady K, great job on the Living in the Past episodes. Any more coming up?
Yes. If you go to our Patreon, we were doing Living in the Past, where we go back and listen to Stuttering John's podcast from 2018 before the Dabbleverse existed, and it's fascinating. And we'll be back on that. We didn't do one in May, but we'll definitely do one in June.
Now you're stealing old content.
You guys are on to me.
Just stealing and doxing. That's all you do.
That's all I do, man. Ghost Crusaders TV.
Curious, do you guys know if Aaron ever super tipped any of your shows?
I don't think Aaron's ever used
Never
Super
look. Never check.
You won't super tip Johnny Crutches.
Right. Yeah, he's not doing it for us. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, but when you do super tip us, we get all of your personal information and we use that to destroy you.
Yep.
You got to stop setting that to me. I don't need it. I'm on that forward list. I don't need
you don't need that?
No.
KFT's having some fun today.
If you guy want to see my wife's titties, send $25 to my Patreon. Extra 20 gets you a used bra.
Ooh.
That true?
No, but there are titties on our Patreon, but not my wife's.
How used?
Review girls. How used? All right, guys. I think I'm gonna
the wife.
I think I'm gonna call it at this time. But I want to thank you all for being on the show. Adam came on.
You just got a buzzer beater.
Oh, we did. Oh
Catalano
yeah.
TV.
Oh, my boy Joey C coming in. Before we hit that, Nobody Likes Onions. The Nobody Likes Onions YouTube channel. You guys doing a bonus show tonight?
Yeah, we're doing a show tonight.
What time is that?
I'm a little low on money. It'll be
He needs the money.
It'll probably be around 8:30, 9 o'clock Eastern.
Okay.
Never happening.
And Adam Busch, you just had a fantastic episode of Who Are These Podcasts Without Me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You had Tom Myers on. You did a tribute to Lisa Boswell. Opie was walking around the streets of Manhattan again.
It had 100% less smile talking than a normal episode.
That's
It was
true.
so smooth.
Mm-hmm.
I can't pinpoint.
Without a hitch. It was just inclusive. It felt like everybody was welcome. I don't know what it was. Good dental hygiene all around. It just
it was
felt
great.
right.
Vinny, producer Chris, Adam, it was an all-star cast of Who Are These Podcasts.
By the way, Aaron said this week that this was your first time leaving Rochester. It's such projection from a guy who never goes on vacation. Like when he went on a vacation, he's like, I travel all the time. I'm a worldly guy. This is the first time Carl ever left Rochester. It's like, it's the second time this month.
Right. Yes. And I never talk about this, but I also own a second house in a different state.
Right.
So there are times when I do leave Rochester, New York. In fact, quite a bit. We have Boston coming up this year. We have Detroit. Another live show that I'm not able to talk about yet, but there's another live show.
And your house
will
is
be coming up.
closer to better beaches in Florida than Clearwater Beach, for sure.
Correct. Yes. That is very true. Adam, anything else you want to promote, my friend?
No, just this Wednesday, 5:30 Eastern, WATP.
Yes, on this very channel, you can watch us live. Moody.
Double it and give it to the next guy. But also, I've got something to share. If we want an update, on the
let's get a
chart.
final.
The nice thing about it being automated, it's still going.
He has not logged out.
No, not logged out.
Hold on, what's that one all the way down on today? That's in the future.
Oh, that's wrapped around. You can ignore that one. It's
Okay.
one from the 21st.
I was like, he's really desperate if he's going into
no.
the future and checking Kiwi Farms.
He set an alarm.
Yeah.
All right. My buddy Joey C. I was hanging with on Wednesday coming in.
Hello, Moody, Melton, my friend Carl, and my new friend, Mr. Adam Busch. Carl, great talking with you the other day. It was fun on Alex Stein. Melton and Moody congrats on a successful event. Hackamania 2. Adam, I am looking forward to our interview on June 12th. Love your role on Chicago PD. Season 8, episode 14, The Pawnbroker. Much love to all of you.
I like it. I like that Joey C is using the system that he's going to the city hall and complaining about.
I don't know.
It felt like a threat.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but I didn't realize that Alex Stein was with him when he did that. And they had like 5 different camera angles that he produced and showed on primetime when I was on there with Joey C. I got to give him props. He did a good job. That was a very funny city council event.
Didn't really make a point, but he did. He
was
did
complaining
show up.
about trolls and centering John and talking about big podcasts like WATP. I'm like, this guy's making a lot of good points over here.
He was complaining about super tips, and he was like, "These guys are making millions." He never brought me up at all. He thinks Dabbler is making millions of dollars off his voice and likeness.
That was one of the funnier things that he said. I enjoyed it very much. All right, guys, let's call it another win for the Piggies as we sign off this episode. So for Moody, for Adam Busch, for Patrick Melton. I have been Carl. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steel toe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the tea to spill, it's always flipping. From April's scrim to Aaron's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma, another win. Oh, that's the karma. This little